Marco. Marco.
Yes.
Marco.
Yes.
Marco.
Let's
Marco.
go.
Bring some more Marco.
Yeehaw! It's bull wrangling time.
Do you like me?
Let's go. What's up, everybody? Glad you guys are here again. Really grateful for your being here once again. Three nights a week is a lot, and maybe there will come a change where I don't do it 3 nights a week. I don't do the stream 3 nights a week. I can honestly see that happening depending on how busy the workload gets with other videos and things like that. But really appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you thumbs up the stream.
Thumbs up the team.
There we go. And tonight's going to be a good stream. I'm wearing the new Losing Fortunes radio t-shirt for the first time. As you can see here, you know.
I'm not a loser.
I got to get the bag.
I gotta get the bag.
So we're going to listen to Losing Fortunes radio, of course, because it is Saturday night. And that's, you know, when we do it. And they have their new episode is called Scott Johnson and Peter Mingles Detail Anti-MLM Speaker Incompetence. I don't know why I am still surprised every time their stream is 100% about me, but I can't get over the fact that that is the case. Don't spoil it for me in the Discord. You guys always listen to it before me, and I try to go in blind, and some Beyond says they're playing their own bingo. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, Building Fortunes Radio bingo last stream was a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing that again. Make sure you guys thumbs up the stream, and let me say wagwan to a bunch of you guys in the chat. Eliza, Zorzin, Animal World, Ari, Ingrid, Jordan Tupper, Connor Banshee, M-Dub. Pretty soon I'm going to have to just start reading the names of only the mods and the members because there's too many people, which I appreciate. Why not? Jimmy Moon, Beyond, Colin, Chase, Amelia, the shocker, Trey Tino, Pussy popping to the elevator music. Love to see that. Obama, so true. Obama. So true. Appreciate you guys for being here. What up, Jared? I have exciting news. WFG Part 4, Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme, WFG Part 4 is done. Not only is it done, it has already been uploaded to YouTube. Not only has it already been uploaded to YouTube, I've also made the thumbnail for it. Not only have I also made the thumbnail for it, it is uploaded. I have uploaded 2 copies. I always have to upload 2 copies when I upload a video. One is the one that goes to members only mode, and the other is the one that goes to unlisted so that I can post it on Patreon. Now, we're getting to the point where there's a lot of members on the Patreon. I think there's 100 people on the Patreon. I'm not sure. Let me look real quick. I think we have 100 people that are members of the Patreon. Let's go. My page. There's 114 people on Patreon. And then I think just under 100 on YouTube memberships. So here's what I'm going to do, okay? I spent most of yesterday and all day today. I went to the gym this morning. I came home. I did not even eat until right before the stream. And I was like, oh shit, I should probably eat something before the stream. And I don't have any groceries because I've just been going in on this video. So I made a bowl of bullshit mac and cheese real quick and scarfed that down just now before the stream. But I worked on it all day and it is finished and it is uploaded. And I'll tell you what, if we fill up this dono goal today, I will go into the settings on YouTube and I will publish WFG Part 4 to members only mode right now. And I'll upload it to Patreon, the unlisted link. And this video is not coming out. I have a multi-level misery. Actually, you know what? I'm not even sure what to do. I uploaded the new multi-level misery episode with Jennifer who was in Ray Higdon's. She was a Ray Higdon coach. I uploaded that episode of multi-level misery to Patreon today, thinking I'm going to drop it tomorrow. But I could be convinced to... Yeah, I know. I'm drinking a protein shake right now, Danielle. So I'll go find some protein after the stream is done. I'll go get a burger or something. I could be convinced to, instead of dropping multi-level misery tomorrow, I could be convinced to drop, I was going to drop multi-level misery tomorrow and then drop WFG 4 on Monday or Tuesday. Or Tuesday or Wednesday. So what's today? Saturday. So it'd be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 or 4 days. But I could be convinced to give the exclusivity period to you guys who are on members and Patreon a little bit sooner. Or I could just go with my original plan, drop the multi-level misery with Jennifer tomorrow, and then stick to my initial plan with WFG 4 to drop on Tuesday or Wednesday. But it's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. And either way, it's a great day. And we got the Losing Fortunes radio shirt on. Great quality from alwaysmarcomerch.com. You love to see it. So appreciate you guys being here. Danielle Ryan, what's up? It must be me. Growth Plus. Welcome to Juice Plus. Has my man Dominic been up to anything? Real quick, I want to check this real quick. Izzo MLM. Let's see. He is not uploaded. Interesting. He uploaded a reel 3 weeks ago, or a YouTube short called Don't Join a New MLM. Then he posted 3 weeks ago, MLM leaders need to stop this, which was 5 minutes. And then he posted a video about Aaron B's. And then he posted the video about me. Have I become his most viewed video? Fuck. I'm number 2. I'm his number 2 most viewed video on his channel. Damn it. I wish I was number 1. We'll get there. Do you have to do channel memberships on PC? I don't think so. Let me see on the phone if you can do it on the phone. I'm genuinely not sure. Let's see. If I press the super chat. Yeah, on my phone, it says super sticker and super chat. So maybe you can't do memberships anywhere but the computer, which would be poopy. But if somebody wants to gift memberships to people, Jared posted no link at all. Okay. Dominic Lizzo, right. Appreciate you, Amanda Del Rey. Thanks for being here. You can do it on the phone. Okay, my bad. You can do it on the phone. I'm just stupid. You know what you can do on the phone? Is thumbs up the stream.
Thumbs up the king.
Because only half of you guys have done it. So, yeah. Good stuff. All right, first order of business. The Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Ontario has moved forward with an enforcement action against World Financial Group. This is breaking news, meaning it is just happening as we speak in real time. And I'm very happy to see this because this is something that came to light as I was working on this WFG Part 4 video. And I do go over this in the new video at the end. It's from April 6th. So April 3rd, an article came out saying that the FSRA was planning an enforcement against WFG, and now that enforcement plan has been escalated to an actual enforcement action against WFG. So here's what it says. The FSRA has initiated enforcement against World Financial Group. FSRA alleges that gaps in WFG's operation and ongoing proceedings by another regulator against WFG may raise reasonable grounds about WFG's ability to be licensed. That is huge news. There's reasonable grounds about their suitability to be licensed. I mean, that is absolutely huge, and it could not happen at a better time. Right when I'm planning to drop this WFG Part 4 video, kicking them while they're down. We love to see it. It says, FSRA is proposing to impose conditions on WFG's corporate insurance agent license. Mwah, love it. WFG may request a hearing before the Financial Services Tribunal about this proposal. FSR is working to protect customers through its monitoring and enforcement activities. Let me give you more details about this, because there was another article that said more about this, okay? Investment, here we go. So this is from Investment Executive. Here we go. Investment Executive. Pull this up. Here we go. So, FSRA proposes new conditions on life MGA. MGAs are just the term for insurance companies. It stands for MGA insurance. Let me get the exact. MGA, Managing General Agent, is what it says. So, an MGA is an insurance company. So, here we go. Let's check this out. Here we go. So, zoom in. Here we go. Ontario's financial service regulator plans to force a managing general agent to submit detailed information every 3 months on its 10,000 plus affiliated agents over concerns that agents lacking direct monitoring are selling complex products. Get fucked. Toronto-based WFG has 15 days to request a hearing over proposed new conditions on its corporate agent license. I'm guessing these conditions would be you guys can't do multi-level marketing, a multi-level marketing model anymore. You have to just sell insurance the normal way. WFG gets a large portion of its revenue from permanent life insurance without directly monitoring agents and with no formal proactive agent reviews, the enforcement notice alleged. In my experience, this is true. In my personal opinion, in my personal experience, the people who are actually recruited to WFG, I mean, I've sat through more WFG Zoom meetings and meetings in general than probably any person who was never actually in the company themselves. The only people who have sat through more WFG meetings than me are people who were in it, pursuing it. And in my experience, they only focus on recruiting. They don't focus on actually educating people about financial products and services. The meetings are usually them giving a overview of simple things. What's a TFSA? Would you rather have a penny doubled every day for 30 days or $1 million cash right now? And like they do these little games, basically. It's like, baby's first business, I always say, But in my experience, the people who are agents with WFG don't really know what they're talking about. These are people fresh, like my best friend from high school who joined, fresh out of high school. What the fuck do you know about financial products and services? Nothing. Here we go. Investment executive requested comment from WFG but did not hear back before press time. The proposed conditions include reporting, initially within 30 days, the names and license numbers of WFG's individual agents, including those under agreements involving supervision. Think about how much of a death blow this would be to World Financial Group if they actually had to adhere to this. Every 30 days, they're going to be reporting. Think of the churn rate of how many people are constantly leaving and joining the company. Every 30 days, they have a new giant list. That is going to make them look so sus to the FSRA, because the FSRA is going to look at that and be like, so you recruited, 500 people this month, and the 500 people from last month who you reported are not with the company anymore, and like, why would you need that many people just to sell insurance and da-da-da-da? And if it wasn't clear that it was a pyramid scheme before, it's sure as fuck going to be clear that it's a pyramid scheme after they do this. It said that WFG's training and supervision framework is largely based on delegation to upline agents. What does that mean? That means that the only actual training and supervision that the people in WFG get are from the people who recruited them, upline agents, from their upline. You know how in MLMs they say, my mentor, or, there was a company that I won't say their name where they would say, my chairman. They would refer to and chairman was a rank in the company, and they would say, my chairman told me, blah, blah, blah. Who are these people? What are their qualifications? It's just who recruited the most. In WFG, they have senior vice president and executive CEO, chairman, crazy names, right? These are just signifiers of who has recruited the most people. It doesn't qualify them to supervise you regarding complex permanent life insurance policies that are complex. Here we go. Further, it said WFG, when asked in a review, stated it does not perform direct monitoring and supervision of agents, nor does it have specific individuals or departments formally overseeing the entire licensed agent monitoring function. Well, fucking duh. It's about time somebody cracked down on this shit. Yeah, my sensei. Thumbs up the stream. I'm cracking down on that.
Thumbs up the king.
Here we go. Batman notes. Oh, yeah, okay, hey, come on. Don't be looking at those. All right. WFG was one of 3 Ontario MGAs named in a joint review released in 2022. in which FSRA and the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators allege the firms actively encourage agents to recruit new individuals and pay agents not only for their own sales, but also for those of new people they recruit, resulting in MGAs paying several layers of agents for one single sale. This type of multi-level marketing, quote, does not appear to be a standard practice, wrong button, does not appear to be a standard practice with life and health MGAs, the FSRA said at the time. I think the three companies were PHP, WFG, and Greatway Financial. In its enforcement notice on April 3rd, the FSRA said WFG operates on a tiered recruitment-based model with 10 levels, from training associate up to executive chairman, including contracted licensed agents recruiting individuals into the MGA. In April 2022, 10,586 individual Ontario insurance agents were affiliated with WFG. Think about that. Just in Ontario. Let's Google population of Ontario. Fucking hell, how do you spell it? 14.57 million, okay? 14 million people in Ontario. Let's just see something real quick. Face ID, what? Okay, 14.5 million, right? Here, I'm putting it into my calculator. Divided by 10,586. This means that the total pool of potential customers for WFG agents in Ontario is 1,369. Sounds like a lot. But if even half of those agents were successful in recruiting 3 more people or 5 more people, you would see that pool of people that they could sell to be cut by the same margin. And when you consider that these companies are pushing agents to do only one thing, which is recruit, you can imagine that the actual pool of potential customers is much smaller than that. Ask yourself, how many times have you in your life gone and had to talk to a new person about new insurance? Twice? I'm 27. I've had to do it. I've switched insurance companies 1 time. I had an insurance company when I first got my driver's license. Now I'm with a different one that I've been with for probably 4 or 5 years, 6 years maybe, and it's all done online. I've never talked to a person. So the idea that there would be all these salespeople cannibalizing the pool of potential customers with their own recruits is insane. Of these 10,586 insurance agents affiliated with WFG, more than 2/3, 7,200, were licensed with the FSRA for less than 3 years. Again, not typical, because it says, there was another part that said in Greatway Financial, maybe it was a different article, in Greatway Financial, only a very small percentage of people have been licensed less than 3 years. So again, this is a sign that the people they're getting are basically kids fresh out of high school, and the demographics that I've pointed to in previous videos of mine before, and they're getting them to go out and act as a recruiting machine as opposed to actually understanding what the fuck they're selling. About 93% of WFG's 2021 total gross income in Canada was from life and health insurance, about half of which was generated from universal life products. So this is getting a bit more complicated. However, I spoke to, you guys remember the most recent multi-level misery with my boy Philip Setter. In that, I don't know if Philip's here in the chat, but what up, Philip, if you are. He is an actual insurance, like he has his own insurance company, and he is one of several people I've talked to in the past month and a half who are legitimate insurance advisors. And they have said that these type of universal life policies, one of them is called indexed universal life. These are life insurance policies that are presented to customers as like an investment vehicle. You might have heard the term buy term and invest the rest, which is a Primerica slogan. They, by the way, my enemies are after me. In the words of the Tinder swindler, my enemies are after me. So if you want to support the boy, hit that Streamlabs link in the chat. But my aunt is calling me. I'm taking my nieces to see Super Mario movie tomorrow. We love to see it. So basically, he said that what these people have told me is that permanent life insurance policies are very complicated, and usually are not the best option for customers. The way I understood it is that unless you're a person who's very wealthy and can afford, I mean, think of it this way. If you are being presented anything as an investment vehicle, whether it's crypto, stocks, anything, we know that in order to have an investment yield any sort of sensible return, what up, Ilkaus? Appreciate you, bro. Long time no see. Hope you're well. We know that in order for an investment of any kind to yield, a reasonable sum of money back, that you need to put in a good amount of money. For example, if you found some stock or some ETF, account that you could put money into, and you knew for sure, a genie came and told you that you're for sure going to get 10% annually, returned on your money if you leave your money in. You're going to generate 10% interest every year. Well, if you don't have any capital to put up to begin with, it's sort of irrelevant. And you have to consider most people live paycheck to paycheck. So you have these 10,000 plus agents in Ontario here with WFG. Where did it say? 10,586. This is in 2022 of last year. You have these 10,500 people running around trying to sell the most expensive, most complicated, most niche, expensive insurance policy, universal life, permanent life health insurance, whatever. And not only do they not know what it means, but they're selling it to people who don't even have the money to have it mean anything, even if it was a good choice for them. And it's obviously not a good choice. Investing is not a good choice. Here's how to explain it simply. Investing is not a good choice if you don't have money. Investing is not a good idea if you have debt. Investing is not a good idea if you have no money. Investing is not a good idea if you're living paycheck to paycheck. I think that's probably a given. Investing is not a good idea if you have no money in your savings. Investing is not a good idea if you haven't hit the Streamlabs link in the chat.
I got to get the bag.
So that's the simplest way for me to put it. And never mind that even the people in the company who are trying to peddle this stuff to the next person they recruit, they themselves statistically are losing money. Make it make sense. Also, you might wonder, well, why don't they just sell other insurance policies? Because an insurance policy that you pay, $50 to $100 a month for, when you consider the fact that, like it says in this article, people are being paid on a tiered recruitment-based model with 10 levels. This means that in any instance of a sale being made, whether it's to an actual customer in the outside market or to a new recruit, 10 different people are getting paid from a single commission. So they're obviously going to be encouraged to push the most expensive policy that yields the most commission because 10 people are sharing it. The guy at the very top might be only getting a couple percent from a commission. If the total amount of commission there is to split up is $90, it's basically nothing for the guy at the top. So that's why they say, okay, go push this most expensive one. Very simple and very sinister. FSRA alleges that gaps in WFG's operation and ongoing proceedings by another regulator against WFG raise reasonable grounds about WFG's suitability to be licensed. So, referring to a separate Autorité des marchés financiers proceeding. So, they're obviously in trouble in Quebec or Montreal regarding that French agency looking at them. So, thumbs up the ting, and let's get into it.
Thumbs up the ting.
But yeah, let's see what y'all are saying. Here we go. Curious to see what y'all have to say about this. That wasn't the wrong button. That was Peter correcting you. Thank you, NPAZ. Here we go. What's up, all y'all? I hope they do it with Primerica as well. True. It's like half the country. Exactly, Danielle. Spoiler alert, they're all recruitment-based models. Yep. WFG sucks. Yep. I've done my insurance online only, says Regan. Never talk to anyone. Exactly. The idea that there would need to be this many people selling anything is fucking absurd, let alone something that people, for the most part, just automate. You know, I don't have to call somebody or go somewhere every month to pay for my insurance. It's ridiculous. I'm still with the same insurance company my parents paid for me 40 years ago. There you go. What up, Susie? Welcome. Oh, it's 2:20 in the UK. Glad to see you here anyways. Appreciate you. Catch the replay tomorrow. Scott is going to be there waiting for you. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. That's why I don't gamble. Great point, Katya. Investment is for people who can lose money. So true, so true. I shouldn't take my last 1,500 and join iGenius? Yeah. Max out your TFSA, yep. What up, Ray? Boo, Quebec sucks, says Joseph. Saad, what up? Appreciate you. Noli, what up? He says, glad to see you're back. I've noticed that since coming back, you seem to be happier as compared to when you stopped making this type of content a year ago. Glad to see you're doing well. Thank you, Noli. I appreciate you looking out for my happiness. You know what makes me happy?
I got to get the bag.
The bag. I hope that, what up, Jen and the two cats? I hope the new Quebec language law affects MLMs. There must be a way to use it in our favor. I'm not familiar with that. During your research, do you ever have people in these business firm for you undercover? Sometimes. I can't reveal my hand, though. Can't give away all my secrets. Why not review? Here we go. Beyond says, serious trigger warning for this week's BFR. I mean, if you are familiar with my channel even vaguely and you've ever seen a live stream, the chances are that you know who Scott Johnson and Peter Mingle's Losing Fortunes Radio are. And you know, I don't normally do trigger warnings and things of that nature on my channel because we're here talking about, you know, multi-level marketing, financial misdirection, subterfuge, cult brainwashing tactics, psychological manipulation. Like, we're not talking about sunshine and rainbows here. It's not like something where I would have to give a trigger warning because the potential triggers are something that wouldn't normally be present. They're always present. So, but Beyond says there are several hate speech slurs in tonight's BFR. So, you know, there's your warning. And thumbs up the stream because 70 of y'all haven't, and we're almost at 200 viewers, and I love to see it. And who's going to be the first bag of the night? Who is it? I'm going to put WFG Part 4 on Patreon and for the YouTube members tonight, as soon as this stream ends, if we fill up this dono goal, because my enemies are after me, and I need security and a gated mansion and guns. All right, let's see what else. Jimmy Moon, what up? V. Elizabeth White, what's up? Appreciate you being here. V. Hustler, what's up? What's up? Used to be in an MLM and left before of your video, and someone recently recruited me to WFG, but thanks to your video, I already knew what it was about. Awesome. Love to hear that. That type of stuff. Those type of stories make my day. Fisher Price business people, yeah. Passive income, yeah. Okay. Andres says, happy to finally see this happening. I remember my sister tried forcing me to join WFG and pressured me to do so back in 2016 because her church friend got her into it. So haram. So haram. All right, let's, should we, are they still done? Are they done on BFR? Scott Johnson might be a sailor, but Peter has the true sailor's mouth, yeah. I'm already a patron, but I'll only donate if Scott Jedi donates. Okay. Trigger warning, everything, and don't forget that Marco has never been in an MLM. Yeah, trigger warning and disclaimer. I've never been in an MLM. So there you go.
Thanks, Marco.
You're welcome, Dominic. Marco needs big lawyer energy. So true, frankly. All right, let's go ahead and check out this. Yeah, sorry to see you go, Katya. Eliza, gotta get us started. Thank you, Eliza. Yes.
Let's go.
Love it. If you don't like hearing a 60-year-old man yelling homo, homo, you might want to leave. Okay, let's check it out. Can somebody send me a link to what is the site that's like the better site where you can do increased speed as well as the whatchamacallit? They're still live as we speak. What the fuck? They are still live, so I won't be able to like we can either pick up from where it is right now with 25 minutes left and then rewind it, which I don't really like doing. Let's see. Let's just see where it's at right now. Pick up your Losing Fortunes Radio tee at alwaysmarcomerch.com. Let's see what they're talking about. Probably me.
And Marco,
as soon as I click play, I hear my name.
is a self-described former and probably current cocaine dealer.
Oh, dude. How do they say the same thing every week? You literally can't make this shit up. I jumped into their stream an hour and 4 minutes into it, and they're literally saying the exact same shit. Oh, my God. You cannot make this shit up. Hey, man. AlwaysMarcoMerch.com. Get that Losing Fortunes Radio.
Marco. Play it some more, Marco.
Always narco. I can't believe this. I can't believe it.
I think I would not follow him. I think I would ignore the guy or try to get him in trouble. I would not laugh over it. I just don't understand that whole concept of that being funny. It makes no sense to me.
Anybody that's been an addict, and I'm talking about a serious addict. I'm not talking about somebody that was dependent on it, like Rush Limbaugh, who was dependent on painkillers or stuff like that eventually had to come off it. I'm talking about one of those addicts that cause a lot of damage to their family. They either lived alone or they're fucking narcissistic and oblivious because you did a lot of damage to a lot of people that either cared about you or were around you.
Yeah,
So
these
one way or
streams are the new Tom and Jerry, totally.
another. That's just it's no laughing matter. I mean, there's nothing funny about it. The Sackler family, Marco, you probably don't even know who they are, but the Sackler family was fined billions of dollars after decades of screwing people, and the reality is that they produced billions and billions and billions. There's your Carl Sagan, but they have
billions and billions.
Billions and billions and billions of damage as a result of their opioids. So for the Marco goon who said he finds this hilarious, it's either you're fucking retarded because the opioids fucked up your brain, or you have no one that cares about you, or you're just totally fucking oblivious. I mean, addiction is addiction, unless you're able to handle it well. There's a lot of people out there, Scott, that are, and I use your name, Scott, because I'm talking to you, but there's
Addiction is addiction unless you can handle it well. Then it's not addiction.
a lot of people out there, Scott, that are functioning addicts. And that's a real
Thank
shame.
you for sending me a friend request in Discord. We are going to be BFFs Tears of Joy.
Thank you, Janet. But if you got a friend request from me in Discord, it's not me. It's not me. There was an imposter that was trying to sell you guys some sort of investment scam. If you look, the suffix of my username on Discord, my username is alwaysmarco4871. If the 4 numbers after the username of the person who added you are not 4871, it's not me. So cancel that. All right? Appreciate you, though, Janet. Thank you so much.
I mean, that is a real shame. They can live a regular life as long as they're addicted. But it's
I think the goon they're talking about is Joey K, if I'm not mistaken. What up, Joey K? X Gonzalez gifting 5 memberships. Yes. Wow. Who got them? Jen, Nightwing, Lisa, Sweet Goth BFTV, and Silica Valley. Yes, amazing, you guys. Hey, 5 more people who get to watch WFG Part 4 early if we fill up this dono goal. So we're already $15 in. That's what? What percentage is that? That's like 64% full. All right, let's see.
thing to go through, and there's a lot of people that are addicted for lots of different reasons.
Coke is an opioid. You learned it here first, y'all. Thank you again, X Gonzalez. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the cult, all the new members. Appreciate you guys.
Medical reasons could be one of the first.
Me wearing this shirt while I listen to the show reminds me of like when I was a little kid and I would watch Yu-Gi-Oh on TV and then I would have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards there, or like I would watch Batman, but I was also playing with my Batman toys at the same time. Like Those were some of the illest memories. I had the original 4 Batman movies on VHS. Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, Batman Forever with Val Kilmer, and Batman and Robin with George Clooney. Those were the 4. I had the boxed set, and I would play with my Batman toys while watching the movie. Illest fucking experience.
Marco.
All right, let's continue. I sort of want to wait until they're done. I think we can kill 20 minutes. Yeah, you know what? There was actually one more WFG-related thing I wanted to get through before we listen to Building Fortunes Radio. And in the meantime, hopefully somebody can send me the link to the different platform that they have Building Fortunes Radio on so we can scrub through easier if need be. Ray Higdon, FYI, I supply Scott and Peter with the Coke. Thank you, Ray Higdon. Appreciate you. And then also, I can go through over this WFG thing. Okay, here we go. Lily Lee Key, appreciate you. Somebody gift a membership to Lily Key. Gen X here. What up, Monica? Those two are such boomers, OMG. They can put anyone to sleep, yeah. Which Batman cartoon was goated? Batman 2005. Saad, get it right. It's called The Batman. That show from 05, it was actually from 04. It's called The Batman, okay? So let's get it straight. That was an ill fucking show. I'm personally partial to 1992 Batman the Animated Series as well as Batman Beyond because I was 3 years old when Batman Beyond premiered, so I was super bricked watching those reruns. And yeah, the Batman, all of them were good. I stopped after The Batman in 2005, though. All them other shits, Batman the Brave and the Bold, nah, that was for little kids. Batman, I'm good, bro. All right, let's kill 20 minutes and start from the beginning. Let's go. Okay, let's go. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So, dude, there's so many documents I've come across, World Financial Group documents that I've come across in the past couple years that I wish I would have come across earlier so that I could have, included them in my videos. But alas, here we are, and we have them for the stream. So we've gone over the WFG Compensation and Advancement Guidelines Handbook from 2015, 2016, and 2018. Here is one this is a document called Recognition and Rewards, okay? I'm very excited to share this with y'all. Here we go, Recognition and Rewards. So, Batman the Animated Series is goated, so true, so true. Batman Beyond was different, so true. All right, so let me shrink me here. Move me over a little bit this way. And check this out. Here we go. Keep in mind, if you use Patreon, you won't have the green name in the YouTube chat or the icon next to your name, and you also won't be able to access these very cool custom Always Marco emojis that I'm about to put in the chat right now. YouTube membership only gets those, unfortunately. But if you don't care about that and you're a person who watches the replays anyways, Patreon will still get you early access to the videos, and thumbs upping the stream is free.
Thumbs up the team.
60 of you haven't done it, but all good. Okay, recognition and rewards. This is fun because we are going to see in the new WFG Part 4 video, I interact with a gentleman who is wearing one of the recognition items in this booklet. Recognition and rewards. Here we go. Outstanding performance deserves world-class rewards. So true. With one of the industry's most prestigious recognition systems, World Financial Group honors its top leaders and producers with amazing awards and outstanding rewards. Wow. Reward, award. Okay. From stunning rings to exclusive trips, WFG spotlights accomplishments and inspires associates and their teams to achieve their personal best. WFG's level playing field gives each associate the same chance to advance. Absolute cookie-cutter pyramid scheme lingo. With performance-driven promotions, performance meaning how well can you recruit. This brochure provides a guide to the qualification requirements for various achievements. Helping others does have its rewards. Absolute poppycock. Hogwash. Mia, thank you. Mia dropped 50 on the super chat. Thank you, Mia. Really appreciate that.
I gotta get the bag.
She says, give me an Obama. Got you. Thank you, Mia. That means a lot. Appreciate you. Is the DJ Khaled thing gonna pop up right
Marco.
now?
Marco.
Oh, it's the Dave Chappelle.
PLS gimme an Obama.
Billions and billions.
Yeehaw! It's bull wrangling time.
Thank you. And Monica Del Coro with the super sticker. Yes!
Thumbs up the team. Thumbs up the team.
Marco.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Wow. I can show you the world. You see it? Okay. Appreciate it. Let's go. Let's get that donut war going, bro. Let's assert some dominance. Otherwise, we're going to end up in goon court.
What you were about to witness.
You know, we're going to end up in goon court, and you don't want that. Whoever made the pyramid gif is genius. So true, Beyond. So true. All right. Here we go. Here we go. WFG, the $100,000 ring. Okay, we're starting off big. We're starting off very bigly here. We love to see it. So, $100,000 ring. The WFG $100,000 ring club is one of the companies. By the way, if somebody can find me like a site or the site where they actually manufacture these rings, I'm very curious to know how much these actually cost. Here we go. DJ Marco unlocked. Yes. No worries, Zorzin. Hey, I appreciate you, Zorzin. What do you mean, in a hospital and hiding from the nurses? Wait, are you a patient there, or like, do you work there? There's somebody bleeding out right now looking for a surgeon, looking for Zorzin the surgeon, and she's not there. Thank you, Lily.
Here's my contribution for the new WFG video. Face holding back tears BTW.
Okay.
Lucky has said the same. Relieved face.
Lucky, okay, got it. Got it. Okay, let me see. Let me read that again, because I want to make sure I say it right. Some of you guys have unique names. Lil Lucky or Lily Lucky? Oh, like Le Key. I see. Lily Lucky. That's what she said, right? She said, let me read the donation. Let me read the text again. It said, here's my contribution to the new WFG video. Thank you. By the way, Lucky and Lucky is said the same. Lucky. Thank you. That makes sense. Thank you, Lily Lucky. Thank you so much. Okay. Here we go. Zorzin is the patient. Okay. Hope you get well soon, Zorzin. The PHP does have the rings as well, yeah. I honestly, the Hartej office was the only one that I seen that does the jackets instead of the rings. Maybe they also do the rings, but here we go. If they contain any precious metal, they're cheap rings from China, coated in $7 worth of shitty gold. Nice. All right, here we go. Milf Hunter, don't be spamming in the chat. Also, I rewind the stream if you need to, and then put it on 2x speed till you catch up. Appreciate you, Lily Lucky. They might get it through the same website that all the high schools in the U.S. get their senior class ring, through Jossin's. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, high school class rings. Oh, for sure it's from these people. Let me find it. Let me see if I can actually find confirmation. Jossin's WFG rings. Wow, it comes up. Okay, well, they probably do make them, but... All right, here we go. Like the stream. Yes, thank you, Peter Mingles. Here we go. The WFG $100,000 ring club is one of the company's greatest achievements, recognizing those associates who earned this cash flow in a 12-month period. Honorees receive a uniquely designed blue center stoned ring. Now there are more than 1,300 active WFG associates who have earned a $100,000 ring, and more than 4,600 total rings have been given to associates over the company's 14-year history. Now, based on statistics, it's almost certainly impossible that the $100,000 cash flow that they refer to is money that was actually made and went into the pocket of the agent. I'm very curious to see what the term cash flow actually means in plain English in World Financial Group. But I bet you anything, it doesn't mean money you have made in commissions. If anything, I am guessing cash flow means the total amount of stuff that you have sold. And if that's the case, then the commission is, that is minus the commission you actually made from that number. That is what you really made, minus the expenses that you incur as an agent of WFG. That is what the actual amount is. So let's say I just talked to a girl recently. I was successful in getting a girl in Edmonton out of World Financial Group. She messaged me asking me some questions because of about the company, because she'd seen my videos, and I successfully, I had a conversation with her, and I successfully convinced her that it was not the right move for her, and she agreed. She says, here we go. She says she gets 36% commission, 15% goes to her direct recruiter, the MD, marketing director, 12% to SMD, senior marketing director, their recruiter. That's all they tell you when you ask how pay works. And that's what started the convo last night, was me asking what happens to the rest of the percentage. Obviously goes to the uplines. Not fair at all. So 36%. So let's say that she was stuck at 36% because she didn't have a big team or she had no team at all. 36% commission on $100,000 of total sales is $36,000, hardly worthy of earning a ring that says $100,000 minus your actual expenses. So, and how long would it take you to make that? Let's see. You could sell an insurance policy for $1,000. I think you would probably be lucky to sell one a month after factoring in all the people who might charge back. So you might sell 2 a month, but by the end of the year, how many have charged back? A year. I'm being so generous right now. I'm giving such a high benefit of the doubt right now to what this ring means, but probably it's bullshit. So here we go. Appreciate you, Kilikina. Appreciate you, Tasha. Classless ring, yeah. What if a woman reaches that level? Does she get the big blocky ring too? Great question. They give her a little pinky ring. Okay. It's an arcade prize. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Uniquely designed blue center stoned ring. Now there are more than 1,300. More than 4,600 total rings have been given to associates over the company's 14-year history. Additional diamonds. Wow. A diamond is added around the center stone for each additional $100,000 earned by the associate in a rolling 12-month period. Wow. So that would take a long time. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 diamonds fit on each side. So 5, 10, 15, 20 months it would take you. CEO MD promotion. When an associate achieves a qualified promotion to CEO marketing director, again, just a made-up term, you do not become the CEO of a company by virtue of how many people you recruit. The term CEO, Chief Executive Officer, is for people in a corporate management position at a company that probably has shareholders, and there usually is 1 or 2 CEOs, a CEO and a co-CEO, if that, okay? The idea that there is I'm sure it's going to tell us how many CEO MDs there have been. The idea that there is, 100 people running around claiming to be the CEO of World Financial Group just highlights how much of a fashion show it really is. Millionaire Hall of Fame. The Millionaire Hall of Fame honors WFG's top leaders who earn a rolling 12-month cash flow of $1 million or more. Leaders inducted into this elite group qualify for additional diamonds and new center stones for their rings, as well as a custom portrait displayed at the WFG corporate headquarters. Wow, I might join now. I literally might join. Here we go. The $250,000 ring, the $500,000 ring, the $750,000 ring. Let's go in order. This one is ruby, and you can also get the additional diamonds. This one is emerald, and you can get the additional diamonds. This one is topaz, and you can get the additional diamonds. Interesting. You know what's funny is So here on this one, it says $750,000 ring, right? The topaz one. But if you look on the side of it, it says $500,000 ring club. And this one, the ruby one, also says $100,000 ring club. So I'm guessing this ruby one is actually just this blue one. They look identical except for the blue stone. So they probably just swap out the blue with red. And then this one, they probably, I'm not sure how that works, but it clearly says 500,000 on the side, but here it says you get it at 750. The guy that you're going to see in my video who I talked to who has this ring, I believe it was this ring, the $500,000 one, but it might have been this one. I thought that said period. I thought that said period with the T on the end, like period. Peridot, okay? First time I've heard that word. Period. I like period better. So he either had this one or this one. Both were green, and we were in a brightly lit environment, and I only got to look at it for a sec. So I'm not sure which one it was exactly, but they definitely have a portrait of me in there. Yeah. Scott went back to his cell. Here we go. Okay, then they have the $1 million ring amethyst stone with 10 diamonds. So ugly. Literally so ugly. Do you want to look like a fucking cartoon pimp from the 80s? World Financial Group has your back. $1.5 million ring. Do you want to look like a villain in the original Fat Albert cartoon? We have you covered. $1.5 million ring. Period stone with 15 diamonds. Wow, only 162 likes, but there's 228 people watching. There is paid assassins in the stream right now, in the chat. Oh no. $2 million ring with black onyx stone with 20 diamonds. Grow up. $3 million ring, diamond encrusted. You're kidding me. WFG also has $5 million, $10 million, and $15 million rings, which are not pictured. Nah, hold up. Nah. I gotta find that. How dare you not show me what that is? If this is how ugly the $2 and $3 million rings are, I cannot imagine how the $5 million. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I hope this isn't real. Ooh, I found another. Ooh, I'm the GOAT. I am the fucking GOAT. Bro, I found another version of the recognition and rewards document. I'm guessing that one is older. Let's go through this one first. Success Society, honoring the company's rising stars. Look how ugly that fucking watch is. Look how ugly that is. WFG Success Society recognizes those associates who have earned $50,000 in a rolling 12-month period. Success Society honorees receive a custom watch with the WFG logo on its face. Wow. Ring pops. As at each promotion level, associates are honored for their achievements through various methods of recognition and by increasing compensation through the ability to participate in bonus pools and earn overrides. I'm excited to see what this little asterisk here means. If I scroll all the way down, I'm sure I'll find it. Promotion guidelines are subject to change at any time, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go back up. Don't look at this. 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 Here we go. All right, Senior Marketing Director Recognition. As a fully qualified SMD, suck my dick, an associate has achieved a true leadership position and the highest contract level in WFG. Yeah, YouTube play button type shit for real. And quite possibly in the industry. Wow. New SMDs are invited to attend the amazing 3-day event, SMD Academy, which for sure you have to pay for, to learn excellent tips, motivational ideas, and more to help take their business to the next level. At this event, they also have the opportunity to tour the WFG home office in Johns Creek, Georgia. I think that's Georgia, GA. Additionally, SMDs can participate in WFG's business ownership program. Huh? I can partake in WFG's business ownership program when I become SMD, but I thought I was already an independent business owner when I joined. I thought I was an entrepreneur in business for myself. Interesting. Executive leadership. There are 3 main executive leadership promotion levels: EMD, CEO Marketing Director, made it up, and Executive Vice Chairman, made it up. As associates reach each of these promotion levels, they receive unique recognition, honors, and rewards for demonstrating their determination and dedication to achieving their best and helping others do the same. At the EVC level, there are 3 additional senior levels with specific rewards and recognition designed to further motivate and inspire associates. What up, Meek? Here we go. WFG Leadership Network. WFG, well, here, you can join the Illuminati meeting. WFG appreciates the dedication and determination it takes to achieve the leadership levels of SMD and EMD, which is why the company developed the Leadership Network. The SMDs and EMDs who qualify to be part of this unique group are invited on exclusive trips, asked to speak monthly on SMD teleconferences, Zoom calls, and may be invited to present at various team and WFG events. WFG Wall of Fame. Upon promotion to CEOMD, an associate is recognized with the ultimate tribute, a photo of him or herself, which may include a partner or spouse, displayed on the main floor of the WFG corporate headquarters. Additionally, with this leadership position, the CEOMD has access to the Elite Partners Program, which provides for a representative at the home office who is dedicated to helping the CEOMD with questions, concerns, and issues that affect his or her business. Just say I get nothing. Just say I get nothing. At Double Dog Diamond, you unlock pyrokinesis. So true. So true. WFG Circle of Honor. So let me get this straight. There's the Circle of Honor. There's the Elite Partners Program. There is the Leadership Network. Holy fuck, how many secret societies am I in? I need to join WFG. WFG, okay, we already read this one. Leadership circles. These elite circles are made up of top WFG leadership who provide guidance and input on major company initiatives and goals. If I was a WFG elite, you know what my initiative would be? Recruit more people. That's how, There are 3 levels, each with its own qualification requirements. WFG Chairman's Circle, WFG President's Circle, and WFG Director's Circle. Okay. The requirements for and the members of the circles are reset annually. So it's made up. I'm very curious to hear about what you need to do to get to these levels. Also, that $5 million ring, I need to see that, bro. Thumbs up the stream, by the way. You guys, don't be so disloyal.
Thumbs up the king.
There's 70 of y'all that haven't clicked like. Come on now. My enemies are after me. There are paid assassins looking for me right now, in real time. All right. Stunning reward trips. WFG's exciting reward trips offer an amazing chance to see beautiful locations across the globe and enjoy elegant amenities of some of the world's finest hotels. Hawaii. Luscious scenery awaits you on an escape to paradise reward trip to the exotic islands of Hawaii. Each year, elite and main trip winners enjoy the experiences of a different island in the Hawaiian archipelago, where you can easily find a tranquil place to relax and rejuvenate so you are ready to conquer the world when you return home. Or spend the entire time on your phone taking pictures and flexing on Instagram and not actually enjoying the moment. All good. Odyssey, an exotic international destination, awaits the qualifier of Odyssey, the ultimate reward trip. Odyssey is the one to aim for, as many of the journeys provide once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for fun, excitement, and adventure in unique destinations around the globe. Past outings have included a trip to Munich, Vienna, and London, a cruise of the Tahitian Islands, a journey to Spain and Portugal, and a cruise of the Mediterranean, which included stops in Venice, Italy, Croatia, and the Greek Isles. Annual convention. Look at how bad this picture is right here. It's just blurry. WFG's convention is the premier event to provide valuable information, motivation, that's the key, and inspiration, the same thing, to WFG associates. During the event's spectacular gala awards celebration, WFG recognizes associates before thousands of their peers for all that they do to make their businesses and WFG great. Recruiting. Insane. Literally insanity. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him. Look at them, so happy. Through your work as an independent associate, You receive the reward of helping families achieve more sound financial futures. But in addition, we believe you should be rewarded further for your initiative and determination in building a successful financial services business and helping WFG become a great organization. At WFG, if you believe, you can achieve. Okay. Let's check out the other version of this document. This looks like an older one. For sure it is. Ooh, I'm excited. Ooh. Here we go. Here's the rings. Pretty sure it was this ring that the gentleman had that's in my new video, which I'll post it on Patreon and for members tonight. If we fill up the dono goal tonight, you see it above my head right here. We're $30 out of 500. I'm trying to join World Financial Group. I need the 500, y'all. Come on. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Rings. Millionaire Hall of Fame. Ooh, they changed the name. That's why. They changed the name from Millionaire Hall of Fame. All right. Ooh, the $3 million ring. Okay, let's see if they show us the $5 and $15 million ring. It doesn't look like it. Senior Marketing Director Recognition, Executive Leadership, blah, 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 blah. Escape to Paradise. Ooh, there's different trips in this one. Escape to Paradise and World Quest. Remember the other one was called like Odyssey? Escape to Paradise. Luscious scenery awaits you on the Escape to Paradise. Hawaii. Okay, that was the same as the other one. World Quest. An exotic international destination awaits the qualifier of World Quest. The ultimate reward trip. World Quest is the one to aim for. So they've just renamed it from World Quest to Odyssey. Interesting. I need to see the $5 million ring. WFG 5 million ring. Oh my God. That is the ugliest, gaudiest, most uncomfortable looking fucking thing I have ever seen in my life. You can not be serious. No, bro. No, Grace. No, Grace Zoo. Oh my God, look how fucking hideous. Look at how hideous. Did that one say God? Oh, that's not a WFG one. Dude. Oh, here's a picture of it in the F word of the day, funnel. Oh no, this guy's in WFG. He posted it. He wasn't supposed to post this. Now I have it. Save image. I'm saving it. WFG rings. Got him. WFG part 5. I might have to do it. Wow. A proven business system at its best can have a funnel rest at the reservoir, yet overrides, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. $100,000 ring. We saw all these up to $2 million ring. Look at that. 3 million, 4 million, and 5 million. But didn't the other document say that there was a $15 million ring? Let me see something. It says there are 5, 10, and $15 million rings. This image shows 3, 4, and 5. That $5 million ring is absolutely fucking hideous. That is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, Infinity Gauntlet type shit, for real. Who's pursuing these rings? Thanos? Jesus Christ. Trypophobia, for real. What on earth does the $10 million ring look like? What's he saying?
Byron Kelly here in San Diego. Just wanted to talk to you guys really fast.
That's all you guys ever want to do, talk to us really fast. World Financial Group 10. I must know what the 10 million ring looks like. I must know. Pfft. Is it the same as the $5 million ring, just with extra shit on it? Look, Thanos right here. Pyramid scheme Thanos. Pyramid scheme Thanos. Wow. Pinterest is something, huh? Who goes there? Oh, it must be me. Welcome. Welcome to the cult. Thank you for joining. Yes. One ring to rule them all, for real. Let me see the $15 million ring. This cannot be. They must have revoked that. That's ridiculous. 1.5, 1 million. Oh, Jaswinder Dillon. This is the guy from my WFG Part 1 video who said, I'm the CEO here. Y'all recognize him? Congrats, Jaswinder Dillon. Oh, in 2020 he got it. Wow. The big G. Okay. $15 million ring. Raja Dhaliwal got his $7.5 million ring? Hold up. Where's the ring? What's the speech from the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings movie? 7 rings were created. 3 to the elves, 3 to humans. What the fuck? The Pink Panther. The $50 million ring is just the Pink Panther. World Financial Group. I should have put group in there. Wow. Oh, is this it? This is the black one. Oh, this is Raja Dhaliwal on Twitter. Okay. This is how 2 $5 million rings look like. What a level playing business model. Hitting this at same as your mentor, the great. Real Michaud. Wow, you guys. Fucking hideous. Absolutely fucking hideous. Imagine you worked hard to rise to the top of a pyramid scheme and you were, dude, I would be embarrassed. Oh, that's the Primerica ring. Primerica does these too. I would be fucking embarrassed to wear these. Good God. That is fucking hideous. All right, shall we see if Scott and Peter... The episode is over. They're no longer live, so I think they're ready for us to watch. I'm going to try to get through it without interruptions, so hit that Streamlabs link in the chat if you're feeling... I
take responsibility.
If you're feeling culty. Hey, it must be me gifted a membership. Thank you, it must be me. To Jay, congratulations, Jay, on receiving a membership. Can we get cult rings, Marco, says Johnny? Dude, I might have to order rings for the people who have been like on Patreon or on Patreon or YouTube memberships the longest. Let's say if you're at a certain tier on Patreon for a long enough period of time, I'll get you the ring. I'll get the cheapest fucking dentist Halloween prop ring, customized, or I'll just draw on it. And we should do that. That's a great idea, Johnny. Thank you for that.
I got to get the bag.
Anything to get the bag. Cast it into the fire, destroy it. Me with my little Primerica or WFG ring. My precious. When you combine the rings, they grant access to free energy. Yeah. The Mind Stone. All of them are the Mind Stone. You couldn't pay me $5 million to wear those rings. The snap that changed Peter Pringles away from the Amway scam. Hilarious. One ring to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. So funny. Looks like a nasty old ancient cheese grater. Those $1 million rings need to be cleaned AF. Got lots of scammer goop on it, yup. War chest donation. Thank you. It must be me. Alibaba has better rings. I'm going to guess they talk about Marco within 4 minutes. Yeah, place your bets. Last time, I think they talked about me within 2 minutes, right? Last week, somebody check. Within 2 minutes. This time, we'll see what happens. We know it's about me, so let's check it. Here we go. BFR, baby!
Marco! Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we're here to help our PM marketing network lead customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word.
He says, stop hating on our rings. These bad boys give you plus 50 defense against the FTC. Stupid. Hold on. Plus 50 defense against the FTC. Like it's fucking Dungeons and Dragons. Plus 50 defense against the FTC and have a passive anti-goon ability that makes my fingers sweat when a goon is nearby. Wow, that's a fucking hilarious comment, Sod. Thank you for that. Wow. Losing Fortunes Radio, peak Saturday night, boys. Let's get it, Carrie. Let's go.
Tell
Thumbs
a
up
friend,
the ting.
join
Thumbs
our
up the
newsletter,
ting.
and go make a difference in your world. Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingles.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingles here. You're listening to us on Building Fortunes Radio. It's www.buildingfortunesradio.com. It's April 15th, which is tax day. And for those people that are in the United States, although when April 15th falls on a Saturday, your taxes are not due or your extensions are not due on the Saturday, you get until, I think it's Monday, to be able to do it. Monday or Tuesday. I think they actually may give you until Tuesday. But
Shut
the bottom
up.
line is, here we are on Building Fortunes Radio. We do this on Saturday.
Next time the intro is going to be like, welcome to Hating Marco Radio. It'll be instant.
Nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. on the Central Side. And this is actually Scott Johnson's radio show. The way this whole thing gets started is I built Building Fortunes Radio about 10 years ago, and I wanted to have a platform for people to be able to have a voice about the different
Why
things
does
that
he
happen in all
always
this
give the history? They are so bankrupt for content that every episode they have to just fill the runtime by and the easiest thing is to just talk about me. What are you going to talk about? The Amway tool scam again? The lack of retail sales? Okay, I'll recap the whole history of it with a couple words different than last time, and then you go off and talk about Marco. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
And a lot of really great things that happen in MLM. However, there are some pretty bad things that happen in MLM too, and what I want
like the tool scam
to do is be able to kind of advise a website that deals with the tool scam.
Ah! I can't make this shit up. Let's pull up the bingo card. Hold on, let me pull up the bingo. No, not that. I'm going to pull up the bingo right now. Ready? Where is the bingo? Here we go. BFR bingo is... Here we go. All right, BFR bingo is on the screen. Let's put it over here. And the X's need to be... Oh, you know what it was? Is I had it like this last time. I had me over there. Let me just get it sorted. There we go. I had me over here on the left side. And the bingo sheet was there. So let's do it like that. And that way when I bring the X's on... here, I'll bring this down. Bear with me a moment. Still getting this set up here, this scene set up in OBS so that it looks proper for y'all. I'll do this once and then I'll never have to fuck with it again. So bear with me. Appreciate y'all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so let's hide all of these X's. Let's hide all the X's. And there's a lot of them. What did Liza say? They might as well rebrand their whole show to Marco Rant Radio. So true. So true. So true. I should get a sound clip of Trump saying so true so I don't have to do it every time. All right, so here we go. I can't believe we even have this, bro. Tool scam count 1. Okay, yeah, they've already said tool scam, so let's go ahead and... You can't make this shit up. You literally cannot. I wish I could make this shit up. You can't. You cannot. All right, let's see. Where's the tool scam one? Here we go. There it is. Let's un-X that. We got tool scam out the way already. Here we go. I also want to make sure I didn't miss any donos from y'all. Let me make sure. Yes, Sod was the last one. Thank you, Sod. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go on. Let's get it.
Kind of thought I knew what he was probably going to say relative to what the tool scam was.
Yeah, Marco's a drug dealer square. That could also be the free square in the middle. We definitely got to update this.
Because I was associated with Amway, meaning I hired and fired myself 3 separate times with Amway.
Wow.
As I was interested in maybe making a transition from what I was doing to maybe something else. And I figured might as well join that one.
Hold on. Did he hired and fired himself should be on the thing too. Is it on there? Scott talks about women. Peter references on board without knowing the word for it. Okay.
because they were going to be around for a long time, and they still are. But what I was disillusioned with is how the primary focus seemed to be the books, the tapes, and the functions, and very little on product sales. And that's where my commissions were coming from, and I couldn't figure out with their really teeny-weeny compensation plan how I was going to be able to replace my income without a heroic effort in marketing those products. So when Scott said something about a tool scam, I was wondering, I wonder if he's thinking about the same thing that I'm thinking about. And when I asked him if he had a website, he said he sure does. It's called stoptheamwaytoolscam.wordpress.com. So that's
Peter Mingo's in the chat. You should know this if you're a true fan. The Do You Like Me was just a one-off thing said by Scott Johnson on Savvy's live stream one time. It's not something he ever said on BFR regarding me. I just added it to my soundboard.
Do you like me?
So you should know that. You should know that if you're in the cult.
And I knew that he was talking about the same thing that I was talking about. So we invited him here on this show. We've actually made it a radio show. It's his segment. We do this every Saturday.
Beyond, seriously, turn this into a web app, please.
And we probably one of our longest running shows out of them all. We talk about a lot of stuff, whether it's Amway or tool scams or whether it's the MLM business model. Or
Monica says we should do a collective sue for defamation and lose this amazing content? Hell no, Monica. We rolling with this.
It's the FTC, the FDA, the SEC. You know, we talk about a lot of things.
Thumbs up the stream,
the
lovely people.
Where we're building home-based businesses and the predatory practices of, the gurus sometimes that happen in MLM and a whole bunch of other issues. And sometimes we do the radio shows ourselves. Sometimes we have guests. Today, we're going to do the radio shows ourselves. And I want to say thanks, Scott Johnson, for being here on Building Fortunes Radio. And if anybody hears some background noise, it's my oldest son's 35th birthday. So for all those people that are keeping score, doing a little bit of math, Marco, he's 35.
Within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes.
Marco.
Within 5 minutes, he mentioned me. Okay. He mentioned my name. Where is it? Peter. I guess we could put that as Peter. He didn't mention my birthday, but he mentioned his son's birthday. Could that be on could that, let's see. Could that just be a free space? Or could that be maybe Peter threatens Marco? That could be a free space. I'm going to give that a free space right there. Let's go ahead and put that there.
60, you would be, I don't know, Marco, you would be like 8 or 10 years old if I was your grandfather. So just like all the other stupid stuff you make up, Marco, my son is 35 today, so happy birthday. And I remember, Scott, I don't know if I know you remember, but I remember when I had my first son, I was scared poopless. I mean, it was really scary for me. It was not a good pregnancy. He came out all black and blue. It was really tough. It was our first one. My wife tried to have like an epidural that didn't work or whatever it was, so it was a really hard pregnancy. And he came out kind of beaten up a little bit. He was healthy, thank God. But the reality is there I am sitting at a window looking at my new son, trying to figure this stuff out. My dad was with me at the time, and, I was scared. So, fear.
We're not even 6 minutes in, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/5 of the bingo board is already done.
Some of those things happen. 35 years later, of course, we have a nice family and all this sort of stuff. We've been through hell and back with his drug addiction, but he's clean now, and I have a great-granddaughter, and meaning great, meaning G-R-E-A-T, as opposed to like the great-granddaughter as if like somebody had a somebody. But the reality is that if you hear some background noises, it's people coming in and out of the house wishing him a happy birthday, and I already did that sort of stuff, so I have time set aside for this radio show. So Scott Johnson, thanks for being here on your own radio show.
Hey, Peter, thanks for having me. Of course, you're going to get a hard time from Marco and his goons for not spending all of the day with your son in his birthday celebration. So,
Marco,
you can be prepared for that. That was a pretty intense birth there, it sounds like. I remember that with my wife's, I think it must have been the first son, I actually helped the doctor give her the epidural He asked me to put one arm around.
Oh my goodness, you guys. We are bodying this bingo card already. Oh, his family literally having a get together while he's in the garage. This is so sad. Y'all gotta thumbs up the stream, bro. I'm serious. Come on, you guys. Thumbs up the ting. There's 240 watching, only 203 likes. Scott has talked about his wife. Peter's talked about his wife. So that's Peter and Scott talk about women. They've mentioned the goons. They've mentioned the radio show. They've mentioned Marco. They've called Marco stupid. And they've talked about the tool scam. You cannot make it up. Let's go.
The back of her neck and the other arm behind her knees and squeeze her into a ball. So that he could get the epidural needle into her between her vertebrae, and so yeah, that was pretty funny for me. But
he giggled.
Yeah, and our first son.
He giggled. Where's the giggle one? Scott giggles. Hold on. He's already giggled, dude. 7 minutes in, you cannot make this shit up. Here it is. There it is. Wow.
He was born backwards, right?
Building a family radio. Yeah. You were fucking born backwards, Scott Johnson.
Preach. So he was born, and so it was
2 weeks in a row that one of them has a family event but leaves to yell about Marco. I love it.
Thing too, because my mother-in-law, who just passed away 3 or 4 weeks ago, really
sorry to hear that.
By the way, I got along with her really well, but she had a long struggle with cancer for I think 20 plus years. She had, different kinds of cancers and recovered from them, with different treatments, and then got another one. But she was 84. But anyway, she was visiting right, when my wife is ready to pop. And so I had actually been missing some work because I had chicken pox. And if you've ever had chicken pox as an adult, tend to get really sick.
Where Scott embellishes a story.
You just get a little specks on you, and it's no big deal. You invite the other kids over. At least that's how it used to be. I think there's a vaccine for that now for chicken pox. But, they used to have parties, so to speak. When one kid in the neighborhood got chicken pox, they'd invite people over. Well, that never happened to me. I never had chicken pox as a kid. And so I was just recovering. I was about to go back to work on a midnight shift. They were doing the initial fuel load at the nuclear plant that I worked at. And I was actually putting in some, what do you call those little glass windows? They're like 6 inches by 6 inches in the bathroom. And my mother-in-law was visiting, and my wife actually went to the doctor that morning, and the doctor told her it looks like it's going to be breech. And so she came back with, her eyes are like two big saucers. She was in shock because that was the first time that was mentioned to us. And so then I went to work, at midnight or whenever it was, 6 p.m. or whatever. And I got a call. I think I got a call around midnight or so. It was my mother-in-law, and she said, Denise's water broke. We're going to the hospital. Click. That was the whole.
Did he just say his wife's name?
That was the whole conversation. And the doctor told her, it looks like it's going to be breech. And so she came back with, her eyes are like two big saucers. She was in shock. Be breech. And so I got a call. I think I got a call around midnight or so. It was my mother-in-law, and she said, Denise's water broke. Let's go.
Goons, do your thing.
We're going to the hospital. Click. That was the whole conversation. So I was notified, over the speaker at the plant, and I was able to go home, go to the hospital, and be there for the birth and so forth, and also get her into a little ball so they could insert the needle. But it was really touch and go because as I was going in, into the hospital, the nurse looked over all my little spots, that I still had on my skin, because they were questioning whether I would even be allowed in to the delivery room because of, my chicken pox. But all of my little sores or whatever had scabbed over, and so they let me go in, just barely. I mean, it was just, if it was maybe one day earlier, they probably would not have let me in. But I've got a picture of my first son's foot coming out, C-section, of course. So that was exciting. It was exciting. So he's 33 now? Just turned 33. So I guess Marco would have to be even like 6 or 8 years old, but that's how he acts anyway. So it's one of those things. He's just so stupid. And
there
like you said before.
Hold on, there's another one. Scott says Marco is stupid. We got to add that one here. Where is it? Where's the X for it? There we go. Got it. Nice.
Peter, you were in Amway 3 times. I think you were trying to find someone who was trying to do it right and couldn't find them. That's because they almost don't exist. I think 95% or more of the distributors in Amway are under a tool scam organization.
There we go. There's the tool scam.
And what we mean by that is, and back in the day, the people that really started this back in the probably late 60s, early 70s, were a couple guys by the name of Dexter Yeager, and he had a downline by the name of Bill Britt. Both of those guys are dead now. But they're the ones that...
Who rambles most incoherently between Joe Biden and Scott Johnson? Great question, Heather.
Really started that whole project, so to speak. And we've had Sean Munger on this show who described the history of the tool scam, and he did a really good job with that. I would highly recommend people watch his video, but I have to caution you, it's not the usual Marco stupidity. It's actually a real, what you would call research and facts. So, Marco being a cocaine dealer.
Oh, there it is. Scott shares intimate details of Marco's life. Let's go ahead and add that one. Dude, we're already almost at bingo. Rather, Marco. Hey, Scott Schaefer. The one Scott that we actually do like. Thank you, Scott Schaefer. He drops a super chat, says, donation train. Let's roll. Autobots, roll out. Let's get it. Thank you, Scott. Dude, do we have a diagonal? We're one away. We need him to say little girl.
Past, maybe still is, probably still is. He wouldn't be interested in that. Plus, he's not good at math. He's said that many times. And most of his goons are, basically drug addicts, and they don't care about facts. They just want to be entertained. So, anyway, that's kind of, some history. And Marco may know the name.
240 of you guys watching this, and they would, Scott says most of you guys are drug addicts. So,
Yeager, I don't know.
Always Marco is their drug. So true.
But he doesn't know much about him. He doesn't know that he's really, the godfather, so to speak, of the tool scam. He's the one that really got it going. And
thank you, Scott.
I think originally it was something that he used as a tool in order to keep his group in North Carolina, because he was from New York State, upstate New York. But he wanted to keep his new group in North Carolina motivated, and he's trying to figure out how to do that because he had to.
Joey K says, I'm not a drug addict. I'm not even related to Peter. Got him. Happy birthday to Peter's oldest son.
Go back to New York and North Carolina.
Hey, Peter, make sure you check that all the silverware is still there after the birthday party's wrapped up, eh?
And a back and forth to keep both groups going and involved and active. And so he tripped across something, whether it was a book or a recording of something, but he left that with the North Carolina people, and he found that it really did help keep them going longer before he could come back down and visit again. And so that just kind of expanded.
Congrats, Johnny. That's awesome.
According to Sean Monger's research.
Thank you, Amelia. Always dropping the bag, Amelia. We love to see it.
There was a guy that approached Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager saying, hey, if you buy some of this, recording, duplicating machinery, you can make a lot of money at it. And according to Sean's research, I don't know if this is true or not. I couldn't say. Dexter was not real interested initially, but Bill Britt was.
Get on with it.
And then they eventually developed their own tool scam companies, each one of them. And you can still find BWW, Britt Worldwide, and also Dexter Yeager. His business has gone by several names, even simultaneously over the years. Anything from, let's see, what is it, Yeager something.
Guys, 250 people watching. Thumbs up the stream if you're loyal.
Thumbs up
and you love
team.
me.
I remember all the names right now.
And you love Scott Johnson and Peter Mingles. Hey, thank you, Beyond, with the $20 super chat, flexing on Jedi Scott. So true. Ooh, Scott Schaefer and Beyond Don't Know War Part 2. Let's bring it.
But anyway, you can find Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt.
Flexing on Jedi Scott.
Yeah. Beyond going strong. Yes. Pat you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Pat you. Appreciate that. Dono Train going strong. Thank you. Thank you again, Scott Schaefer.
There's other tool scam companies out there, too. It's not just two of them. There's probably, at least in the United States, somewhere between 15 and 20. And around the world, another probably 20 or 30. That's just a guesstimate. I don't know the exact numbers. But then they found they could make a lot of money, and that's what they did. They make a lot of money. And what the tool scam is there's various meetings and books and recordings and phone apps and voicemail and website access. There's just all kinds of things that these uplines sell to the downline with the pretense of motivating and educating them. But in the meantime, they're making a ton of money. And I have examples on my websites, which you can find if you go to facebook.com/Scott Tex Johnson. So it's SCOTTEXJOHNSON. And there's links in there to my 3
I like how the viewers on my stream always spike when we're doing this shit, by the way, too.
Websites, my YouTube channel, my email. And by the way, I need to give my email to Regan or Reagan. I think she goes by Regan.
Hey, Regan in the chat getting called out by Scott Johnson again. Wow, what is going on?
Because a couple of weeks ago, I said, hey, if you want to be on the show because you got a lot of stuff wrong. She kept calling me out when I was talking about my military experience in the Navy, and she kept calling me out. No, that's wrong. He's wrong. That's not right. All these kinds of comments along the line. And so I challenged her to come on the show, and I offered up, go to my Facebook page and email me, and then we can arrange for you to be on the show so you can tell me how wrong I am about my own personal experience in the Navy. So she says, oh, I'm not on Facebook. So here's my email, Regan, whatever your name is. It's Stop the Amway Tool Scam. That's all one word. Stop the Amway Tool Scam @yahoo.com. So now you have my email. If you're too chicken to email me, I understand. Most people are. Most people are just talking out of their butts, and they have.
Regan didn't want to go on Building Fortunes Radio after Scott offered. I'm going to go ahead and add an X to Scott Talks About Being Rejected. Dude, we're almost full, and we're 16 minutes into an hour and 30-minute long thing.
No intent of being right. They just want to flap their gums.
There you go. So if you want Scott Johnson to shout you out on Building Fortunes Radio, all you have to do is say something questionable about his military background or question his military expertise. Love it.
It's factual or not, and so
it's
I'm not
Reagan,
expecting
like
an email from her, by the way. But now she has the opportunity to do that without ducking me on the old Facebook thing. So anyway, that's the tool scam.
Hey, thank you, Lily Lucky, for joining. Executive team leader, congratulations on rising up through the ranks of the cult. We love to see it. Thank you, Lily Lucky. I appreciate that. Really, really I do. Thank you. If you guys want to support the cult, you can gift memberships too, so that your donation helps not only me, but adds benefits to other people that watch, and we strengthen the cult together, pay it forward.
And there's examples on my websites that show how much money is being made, or was being made, I should say, and now it still is being made. It's just
What up, Finn Gaming? Glad you could catch a live stream. Appreciate you guys being here.
the examples I have are people that got kicked out of Amway because they don't talk about it while they're in, and that's what makes it a scam. While they're in Amway, they pretend that all of their
Choo-choo locomotive.
Choo-choo! Yes, thank you. Get the donos train rolling. Thank you, Kilakina. Appreciate you. Thank you. Love it. Thank you, Lily Lucky. Glad you got to make it work.
income came from Amway, not the tool scam. And so it's only when they get kicked out, some of them start talking, and that's how we have these people who say, yeah, I was making 10 times or more. Or another guy said, I paid my emeralds and above 4 to 5 times more for the tools than they were getting from Amway.
Annoying Salt says, on Facebook, Scott has 95% fake accounts as his friends, or he lives in India and we don't know. I love it. Can't make this shit up, you guys.
So those are a couple examples that are on my website. And the one that was 10 times or more.
I actually fuck with Scott for when he said, I got at the last episode when he was like, I got to go back to my cell now. The warden is telling me to go back to my cell. I thought that was actually funny. Fuck. I love Saturday streams, bro. I love them.
Is actually an interview.
Saturday streams are my favorite ones to get the bag too, because
I got to get the bag.
Because Scott and Peter watch these ones the hardest, and I love to see. I love when they get upset about the goons donating. Like, you know that meme of Arthur when he's like squeezing his fist? That's them when they watch the Saturday stream and the bags are flying.
Into a Salt Lake City newspaper. So, you know, it's really good documentation as far as the source. The sourcing of it is excellent. But that's the tool scam. And most people don't know it.
Hey, appreciate you, Diesel, darling. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. The anti-MLM community appreciates you. Even though the anti-MLM community no longer loves me. But what can I do? I made jokes at Trump's expense, and I guess it was too sensitive. So what can you do? I'm a villain now. All good.
People who do know it really don't understand how significant it is, particularly in Amway. And of course, you know, Marco has always said, oh, I'm never going to do a story about Amway because, you know, they're so litigious and I'm going to stay away from them. But, you know, when you ignore the largest and most abusive MLM, you really just don't have your act together. You really don't know what's going on. And you're probably Marco because you're always stupid, and Marco is always stupid. So it all is consistent. So anyway, that's, you know, kind of the big thing with Amway is the tool scam and some other MLMs. Herbalife has one. I don't think it's as profitable. And I'm sure there are others. Some companies have rules against it and they actually enforce that rule. So I don't know, you know, what the percentage is or anything like that. But Amway is my experience because I was in for several years. So I have several years of first-hand experience, which Marco really makes fun of, right? Oh, Scott lost so much money and, you know, he lost so much time with his kids and all these different things. But he only criticizes me on that. He doesn't criticize anyone else. All of his guests that he has on his videos, he shows great sympathy and, you know, just, oh, I'm really sorry sorry about that. I am so sorry that happened to you. You know, those kinds of feelings.
Hey, Scott, you know why I show sympathy to the people who have been on multi-level misery and the people who reach out to me respectfully to talk about their experience in MLM? Because they're not raging fucking douchebags like you. Because they're actually polite, kind people who aren't so up their own ass. They know that they did something that they look back on with regret and they don't want to do it anymore. They don't
Finally made it to a live chat.
Hey,
here's a donation to the cult.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Shauna. Yeah. Him talking about my Canadian. Sorry. Scott, when these people reach out to me, it's because they want to help others, which you claim to want to do, but you actually don't. What you want is for people to feel sorry for you and lick your fucking ass because you supposedly have the answer key. You are the epitome of it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You are maybe the most unintelligent person I have ever... No, you know what? I'm going to give you the crown. I'm going to give you the crown.
Let's go. I got to get the bag. Do you like me?
You are the most unintelligent person I've ever witnessed in my entire life when it comes to just not being able to read the room and communicate like a normal human being and be respectful and like humble yourself and go, yeah, you know what? I fucked up. I wasted too much time in Amway. I spent $500,000. If you had just a little bit more humility about you, I guarantee people would be so much more graceful to you and gracious to you. But the way that you like carry yourself, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. You know, I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy because it's so out of this world, the way that you compose yourself online. It's absolutely staggering. So you're a fucking idiot, Peter, and Scott too. Sorry, you're an idiot, Scott. I get them mixed up. It's too much dementia for me to keep track of. You're an idiot, Scott, and so are you, Peter.
Marco.
Yes.
Marco.
All right.
But the fact is, those people were probably more damaged than I was, whether it be financially, and we're not talking just the dollars, we're talking about...
Another great point too, Jay. Yeah, and also Scott is still pro MLM after this. Scott still thinks there's a right way to do MLM.
The dollars compared to your income. A lot of people could lose a lot less money, as far as the amount of money, and have it much more impactful on their life than it was on mine. Also mental.
Spec says Scott and Peter are literally Trump zygotes. Like they have the same type speech. Marco, always stupid. Marco, he's very stupid. He is. So true. So true, frankly. So true. Uh-oh, Obama. Thank you for that, Obama. I got you. Let me hit you with another one.
Obama. Billions and billions.
Got you. Thank you. Lord Vader, Discord, multi-level misery tab.
I think a lot of people get rude MLMs, which I did not. I think part of that...
What the fuck happened there? Darth Vader?
That is, number one, I'm pretty normal, whereas most of these are just crazy people. And secondly, I was older when I got involved. I was around 33 when I got involved in Amway, whereas...
Specs congratulating Peter. You mean Scott for the dumbest person award.
A lot of these people were much younger, 17, 18, 20, those years. And you're still trying to figure out who you are and all those kinds of things when you're that young. So when you get jerked around...
Imagine being on a date with this fucking guy. Imagine sitting on a park bench and this guy's sitting next to you and just starts... You never can escape it. It would just be an episode of this. I wonder if they think about anything else or talk about anything else in the rest of their lives.
Like that, it really messes you up. So
back to yourself.
Those are two reasons I think of those differences. But the other big problem, and I believe it's universal, it may not be, but every MLM I've looked at, typically the products are 2 to 3 times or more than what you'll find comparable products on the market. And therefore, there's very little retail sales going on. And retail sales, the definition of that is selling stuff for a profit to people who are not part of the compensation plan. And because of the price difference...
Beyond says, I love how he tries to be sympathetic to Marco's guests, but can't help himself and calls them dumb.
It just doesn't happen very much. There are those, what I call sympathy sales. Maybe a relative or a close friend is just trying to support you as an individual. And Marco doesn't even think those count as retail sales. But I don't know how you draw the line, right? How do you say, okay, if it's your brother or sister, mother, father, son, daughter, then that doesn't count. But how about if it's your grandfather or your grandson or your cousin or your nephew? How far out do you go relationship-wise, or a friend? Well, is it a real close friend? Have you known him since you were 10 years old? Have you just met him? Where do you draw the line on a friend being eligible for retail sales or not? And so I just toss that aside. I say, look, there's no reason to try to, divide up and have a criteria for what is a legitimate outside retail sale versus a non-legitimate outside retail sale. It just gets too complicated, and always stupid. Marco's too stupid to figure out that anyway. And in Marco's case, here's the thing. He hates his mother and his stepmother and his father, and they probably hate him too. It's probably mutual. So in that case, if Marco was in an MLM, should that count as a retail sale? Because he hates their guts. So, it just doesn't make any sense, but Marco doesn't make any sense anyway. So, it's just one of those things. But anyway,
Scott and his wife divorcing, citing irreconcilable differences. All he does is talk about Marco. I love it. I'd rather sit next to Forrest Gump. What up, Bad Dog Sports? I can't believe this.
The real point here is a legitimate MLM has adequate retail sales, and a non-legitimate, in other words, a illegal pyramid MLM, does not have very many retail sales. And so there's no law that defines the minimum level, but the FTC has settled with companies. The two most recent are Vima and Herbalife that you mentioned earlier, Peter. And in those cases, the FTC essentially drew a line. It's a little bit more complicated, especially with Herbalife, but they essentially drew a line at approximately the 50% line. So theoretically, if every distributor household bought a certain amount of products and they also sold the same certain amount or more to outside customers, that would define a legitimate MLM according to the settlements the FTC has done with those two companies. But there's no law that defines that. So I just want to make that clear. But that's really the definition of an illegal pyramid, is lack of retail sales. So,
Scott Johnson, you're so fucking dumb. You yourself just said there would be no way to determine what is a legitimate retail sale and what is people just selling to their own downlines. So you find yourself in a circular argument every time you even attempt to explain this shit. Again, there's a reason people listen to me and not you. There's a reason you've been doing this however many 13 years, this radio show, or however fucking long it's been. I never listened to the intro. And you still have no one who listens to you. There's a good reason.
People throw around that P word. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Talk long,
but that is the definition. So anyway, I'll stop there right now, let you make some comments, and then we can get into Marco the Narco.
We're good to go.
All right. So,
What? He just keeps talking. Where was Peter? Peter didn't even say anything. Peter's off eating birthday cake with his family. Scott's just by himself rambling. Peter knows. Peter's like, all right.
I was just thinking about this the other day. Marco has the attention span of definition of an illegal pyramid.
Hold on, I'm rewinding to see what the fuck happened there.
Pyramid is lack of retail sales. So a lot of people throw around that P word. They have no idea what they're talking about. But that is the definition. So anyway, I'll stop there right now, let you make some comments, and then we can get into Marco the Narco.
What do you mean, and then we can get into Marco the Narco? You've been talking about Marco the Narco for the past for all this episode already. 24 minutes.
Nope, we're good to go.
Oh, he says, no, we're good to go. Carry on, Scott.
All right. So, I was just thinking about this the other day. Marco has the attention span of a squirrel.
True.
Right? I mean, he just jumps from one thing to another. If you've ever seen his videos, he's just jumping around from one random topic to the other. It's always stupid. And I just wanted to make that point that the guy he's got no concentration. He's got no thinking ability. All he does.
You know what I love is the fact that you'd think they would have clued in by now to the way this goes, right? They do their show in their little echo chamber. Nobody listens to it. The only audience that they have is the audience I rebroadcast their show to on Saturday night, right? So if they were even a little bit clever, they would try to say things that would turn my audience against me, because it's only my audience listening to them by proxy through my stream. And yet they literally just say the same shit every week.
Does is react to stimulus, just like a squirrel, buries his nuts, forgets where they are, runs around, runs under car tires, In fact, Marco the Narco looks like he's about to do that again, Peter, because Primerica sent him a cease and desist.
Here we go.
He talked about it on last night's show, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do. So we'll find out. He says, if I never mention that company name again, you'll know it's just like the same company from a couple years ago that actually did sue him, and he's never said their name directly. He has indirectly said it. But he says, if I never mention Primerica again, you'll know why. It's because I decided to essentially knuckle under to their cease and desist letter.
I'm going to need to get a squirrel emoji with my face on it for the YouTube chat.
About to, well, I can't say that because he's been talking about it for 2 months now. He's been saying for the past 2 months that he's about to release.
Time for cake. Peter mutes Mike. We just got onto the Marco segment. Get out. Slam the garage door.
His Primerica Part 4 video, but he may not. He said, I may not release that because of this cease and desist and this threat of a lawsuit from Primerica. So time will tell. We'll see what happens with all of that. But, always stupid Marco the Narco is getting himself in deeper doo-doo every single day. But we should expect that. He's always stupid. So do you have a comment?
Yeah, we do. Well, I do. So we know Marco has a really hard time telling.
We do, says Peter, a singular individual. His split personalities are getting there. Let's see. I can't wait. Peter's been quiet this episode. Come on. Hey, thank you, Kilakina. Welcome to the cult. Yes. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
The truth about anything.
Right.
So the reality is that he was not making any money doing the stuff that he was trying to do when he was sued the first time. So when he was sued the first time and realized that he can't afford the lawsuits, prior to that, Scott, he was talking trash. The typical Marco, fuck them, he would say, let them suck my whatever. Marco, tough, behind the keyboard, thousands of miles away from either people like you or me or companies or other people. And he'd be like real talking trash, like, what are they going to do to me? Fuck them. What are they going to do? And they did. And the first company shut him down. And he's still in, the legal proceedings, we understand, of that first company based on the things that he says, whether that's true or not. Well, when times get tough and he's got to figure out how to make some money and he doesn't want to hold like a regular job, like what regular people might do in similar situation is go to work.
Says a guy who sells MLM leads, bro, and was in MLM before that.
Do that. He tried to do the YouTube thing, and that failed miserably. And as that was failing miserably, he realized the only way he really made any money was doing these anti-MLM videos. So when he started doing these anti-MLM videos, I don't know what he was thinking, Scott, but if you start doing these anti-MLM videos and infiltrating different companies and basically doing the stuff that he was doing before with deceptively interviewing behind.
Thank you, Reagan. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Welcome to the call. Welcome.
In the scenes, different people. Well, either a distributor or a company is going to call you out on it again, and they're going to sue your ass off or threaten to sue your ass off. So what he was thinking about, Scott, I have no idea. But the idea that he is being sued or threatened to be sued or cease and desisted by Primerica is no surprise. And to show you how much of a loser he is, if he had balls because he was going to back up the bullshit that he was saying before, come on, Marco, fuck him. Go release that Primerica video. The one where you infiltrated a woman's livelihood and her office, and you did that filming, and you did all the other things, Marco. And then when you went to the what was it, the hockey game, I guess it was, and you kind of interrupted some business. And go ahead, Marco, see how tough you are. Fuck him, Marco. Release that. Come on, Marco. Let your goons vote. How about you do a vote? Goons. Should Marco release the Primerica video? And Marco, you could release it even though it's not finished. Matter of fact, Marco, I'm sure if you asked your goons at this point if they would contribute to your video fund, that they would gladly do it because they'd be curious to see what's going to happen with Primerica and you and court when you release that. So you won't, Marco, because you'll fag out. So oh, shoot. Dave Vaughn, bingo, use gay as an insult. Scott, I don't know if you saw.
Yes, that is. Is it a bingo? Hold on. Uses gay as an insult. They did that. Yes. Okay. Keep going. Let's keep going.
One of the previous things, Dave Vaughn made a bingo card.
Thank you, Tyler, by the way, for the super chat. And thank you, Tally Gomez. Appreciate you. Thank you, Tally. Always smart and handsome. Thank you. Tyler says, Scott and Peter are finally getting listeners after 13 years, but they're all Marco's listeners, making fun of them. Task failed successfully. So true.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
And if I use gay or you use gay as an insult, somebody wins like a bingo. So I think we already bingoed out because you called them stupid. I think I probably called them a fag a couple of times, and not necessarily a fag on a gay side. But if that counts towards the bingo card, sure, let's go for it. But the reality is an insult. So insult to gay people, fags, like Marco. Marco, release the Primerica video. Marco, release the Primerica video. Love to see what's going to happen with that cease and desist because, companies and lawyers, they're not going to fuck with you, Marco. Don't worry about it. They're not going to fuck with you. They're not going to haul you into court. You're not going to have to pull up, $5, $10, $15, $25,000 as a retainer to try to prevent yourself from being sued into fucking oblivion. So go for it, Marco. That's all I wanted to say, Scott. He talks trash. He's a little wimp. He's a little faggot. And he's going to sit there and stop us when we're talking about him in this way. But, Marco, if you had balls, you'd release it. You've been telling people you were going to release it. Go for it, Marco. You're not afraid of them. And I hope you do something with that World Financial Group guy in the gym, the hockey player who kind of knows who you are but has kind of been laying low. I hope you say something about him, too, because he's probably going to check you into a locker. Like kids do in junior high. I can't wait to see that happen, too. So, Scott, watch out for bumps and bruises on Marco's head as he's probably checked into a locker in a gym from some hockey dude from WFG. So back to you, Scott.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all good points, Peter.
How are those good points?
In fact, I was going to spend a minute or two because I noticed when Marco the Narco played.
What's up, Sarah Jane Johnson? If you're not familiar with this is Building Fortunes Radio, as I call it, Losing Fortunes Radio. Every Saturday, it is a internet radio show that nobody listens to except us, that is dedicated to talking smack about me every single weekend from these two pro MLM guys.
His bingo last week, every time that we were making a point, he was yucking it up with his goons over one of the new X's that he was filling in. So let's just go through the whole bingo card right now.
Oh, Peter, no, here we go.
We can fill in all those X's. There will be no reason to be, sort of getting your attention off on something else.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll give a Peter threatens Marco to that little blurb right there. Let me go ahead and put one right there. Hold on, where is it? I gotta find the corresponding X that goes there. Okay, here we go. There it is. All right, almost. Oh, is it diagonal bingo? No, not quite. Here we go. Let's go.
Well, we're talking about the rest of the show. So the first one is talk about Marco without a shirt. Well, he's very soft and he almost looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Okay, well, wow. I guess they're going to just by default give us a bingo because they're going to go through the entire card. So let's hit that one. Talking about me without a shirt. Let's go.
Let's see. You need to talk about women.
It's more like a pinky. Like if you ever raised mice, the mice, when you feed them to snakes, sometimes when you have a small snake, you feed them pinkies. Those are they're brand new baby mice. They're soft and they're kind of pink. Either that or like an earthworm. He's got the body of an earthworm. So, and I think he's going to wear our shirt today. Losing Fortunes Radio. How original, Marco. How fucking original. You're so creative.
Exactly. So the next
wow.
You're supposed to talk.
It's about as creative as always stupid Marco.
You're supposed to talk about women, so go ahead and talk about women for a second.
Oh, I got to talk about women? Sure.
It doesn't have to take very long, but just talk about it so we can exit off.
Okay, so,
them playing along with the bingo to help me check off the list. Oh, my God, bro, I can't.
Let's go.
Oh, my God, I cannot. I love it. I love it, bro. What a treat every Saturday. I can't believe it. They always surprise me.
We'll just kind of blend Marco in with women because Marco is afraid to talk about women because he feels like he's going to be picking on them. Yet he's actually, I used to watch when he was doing the Jessie Lee Ward one, when he was talking about women, the things that he would do with her and the things that she would do with him and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, where's this guy coming from? What a fucking creep. What a creep. Oh, and we how can we forget about the cheerleader? Marco, the woman who said, is that all there is after you had sex with her? It's like, oh my God.
They haven't gone on this blurb about me dating a cheerleader for a while. They have this one bit that they go into about me dating a cheerleader. And then their telling of the story is that Marco didn't want to have a relationship with this cheerleader beyond sex. But I find this plot thread so funny because every time they go down it, they end up just basically making me sound like a huge pimp. They basically end up just saying like, yeah, Marco has so many girls and he's not committed to any of them. What a stupid idiot.
How sad. So go ahead. What else? Yeah, as she's looking at his crotch, is that all there is?
Is that all there is?
I'm supposed to share the intimate details of Marco's life. So here's something I actually learned, I think, a week or two ago from Marco the Narco, and that is that, we talked before about how he's shy to go pee in a public restroom. Well, I always assumed it was one of those troughs, where you're standing right next to other guys and everyone's peeing into an open trough and there's no dividers or anything. But Marco was able to tell us a week or two ago a little bit more detail. Since we brought it up, he decided to bring it up because I know he's very embarrassed about it, but the best way in his mind to sort of blunt that embarrassment is to talk about it himself, to make it look like he doesn't care. He really does, but, he's trying to bluff like he's bluffed his entire life about everything. But he's – there he is. There it is.
The droplets, I love that.
But Marco was saying he got nervous because somebody was standing behind him. Now, I don't even notice when people are behind me when I'm peeing, but apparently he's so self-conscious that he was actually talking about the guy behind him, waiting for one of the stalls to become open. So crazy stuff. All right, the next one is a tool scan. We covered that. We covered use of gaze and insult. We covered that.
Hold on a second. Something about personal. Yeah. I try not to listen to Marco's thing because I can't handle him for too long. Yeah. But even his 8-year-old niece thinks he's a creepy guy. I don't know if
I knew it.
You caught that. I think it was on his Wednesday one. I haven't listened to the one last night. But on Wednesday...
Knock, knock. Enough. We're talking about Marco's cock now. I want a hug, Dad. Yeah, for real. Literally. That's what's going on at Peter's house right now.
Talking about his niece. Because he says he's like her grandpa or her dad or her brother. She's like, you're not even my fucking stranger. He's like, such a creep. So even the 8-year-old niece finds him kind of creepy. So go ahead. So there's the personal.
My face hurts.
I think she referred to him as just a random guy.
Yeah, a random guy. Yeah, creepy random.
He tries to call her his niece, but it's really his cousin because he's trying to be more grown up, right? But he's not. Whether it be just the actual relationship, cousins and nieces and nephews and all that stuff, or just the fact that he's immature. In both cases, he's just a kid. But yeah, so we already did the gay thing as an insult. Peter says Marco is stupid. So I don't know if you've actually done. Yeah, you've done that, right?
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
The next one is little girl. So yeah, Marco. When he takes his shirt off, he actually when his shirt is on, I think it's even more obvious to me because it looks like he's just starting to develop in the chest as a little girl when he has his shirt on. You can see that when he's wearing his T-shirts. He's got like no man chest.
So
it's a
creepy.
Woman, just a bumpy chest, and it's just he looks like a little girl.
Scott, I think he shaves his eyebrows. So he shaves his eyebrows, and I think he uses like a magic marker to paint them back on. So just so you know, I think most girls do that nowadays. I'm pretty sure he does that as well, because he's got these painted on looking eyebrows. So I'm pretty sure he's a girl. So back to you.
There you go.
That could be. Yep.
It could be referring to when I actually shaved my eyebrows off on stream and then literally used a gold Sharpie to draw fake ones on one time. That did happen.
Okay, now here says Scott embellishes a story. I don't think we can ever X this one off because
we got bingo, y'all. We got 2 bingos so far.
Let's go.
Marco.
We got Marco, rather.
Marco.
Never embellish Marco's stories because the real stories are just more incredible than anything I could ever make up. So we're going to have to leave that one blank because I don't believe I've ever embellished the story of Marco's. Okay, we talked about lack of retail.
Thank you, Zorzin. Appreciate you. Welcome to the cult. No, you embellish your own story, Scott. Oh, Scott shares intimate details of Marco's life. Scott embellishes the story. That's always true.
Sales. Okay, now I have to talk about women. I think I did talk about him, looking like a woman because he's very soft. He's skinny, but he's really soft. It's just a weird combination on a guy. Let's see. The next one here is...
Off topic. You growing back your hair again?
Yes, I am, LG. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you noticing. Thank you. I think it looks good.
It says, Scott mentions Marco's birthday. Yes, March 15th. Now, I mention it because Marco was always mentioning it for like 2 months before his birthday. He mentions it all the time on his live streams. So now we're just awaiting next year's 28th birthday. You'll be in your late 20s then, pretty much officially, Marco. And I just can't wait till March 15th next year. Okay, now next one is Peter threatens Marco. I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you want to do something that he might interpret as you threatening him, go right ahead, Peter.
Oh, let's see. How can I say that? Well, I think Marco has, threatened Marco. Marco has threatened me to a fight. So he expects me to go up there.
Gramaldas, Marco, you should be honored. Soft, supple little girl just starting to develop is Scott's exact type. Hey, you said it, not me. Yes, my birthday was March 15th on the day I was flying back from the conference. Yes. I love it. I can't believe. I don't know either of their birthdays. I got to remind me before this is over to pull up the picture of who we think is Scott Johnson. We can see if it's actually him. I'm sure he'll let us know.
To go kick his ass. So I think we should do like a goon fundraiser. So pick a point, Marco. Might as well come down here. So come down here. You can enjoy the beach. We got a beach camera. We can show your goons. Have your goons do like a fundraising event to come say whatever you want to say to Peter's face specifically, and we'll see how that pans out. So we can even film it, Scott. We got video cameras all over the place. I'd be more than helpful and willing to film it. So Marco,
quit the cap. Y'all do not own a video camera. Otherwise, this podcast would be on video. Thank you for the happy belated wishes, by the way, y'all.
After you have your goons, or maybe do it before, have your goons do a fund to come down here and say whatever you want to say to my face, because you could travel, I can't. That's what you think, Marco. You can travel, I can't. And then this way, when that's done, you might not have to worry about that cease and desist anymore. You might be desisted. You might be ceased, but you won't have a cease and desist from Primerica. So I think that's okay.
Very clever.
Yeah, that's a good way to do that. And I don't even know if he can get in the country anymore. He barely made it in this last time. And maybe the Border Patrol people are saying, we really shouldn't have let him in. So next time he tries, let's not let him get through. We don't know.
Check it out.
We'll see what happens. I might even write them and say, hey, you guys asked him a lot of questions, but he still got through. What gives? And I'm not expecting an answer, by the way, but it'd be nice to just ask the question. All right, the next one is the free box in the middle. So we'll skip over that one unless you want to pick a topic for free.
I don't know. That's fine.
The next one is the quote, flat out wrong. Well, that describes Marco pretty much every time he flaps his gums. Shyster, yes, Marco, you are a shyster.
Oh, yeah.
You have many stories of how you demonstrated that. Scott talks about being rejected. Well, I think that's just part of life, Marco. And it's really part of sales, whether it's MLM or non-MLM.
Maybe for y'all, not for me, apparently, the way you talk about my escapades with cheerleaders and whatnot.
I think that's why a lot of people quit MLM, by the way, is they don't like the feeling of being rejected. And so they quit. But that's part of life, even absent an MLM, is being rejected. Let's see. The next one is Scott or Peter references Marco's soundboard without knowing the word for it. So he put the word actually right in the comment. So I guess I should just call it the sound thingy. How's that? Next one is snowflake. That kind of describes pretty much every single goon is a snowflake. I mean, all those people are just, libtard, woke snowflakes.
There you go.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's at y'all, you guys. That's at y'all. The goons are getting brought in on this.
He attracts those kinds of people.
They are cheating. They are cheating using the bingo card for sure.
And he attracts.
Peace out, Sarah.
Drug addicts. It's pretty remarkable. Scott says Marco's stupid. I think we covered that one. The anti-MLM YouTuber, I think we mentioned that before on this show. Scott giggles. That's something that I'm sure I've done during this show because Marco's always stupid. And how can you not giggle at something that's that stupid?
Him admitting to giggling is something I didn't know I needed. Love it.
Let's see. Returns to talk about Marco after saying they're done. Okay, Marco, we're done talking about you. The next one is radio show.
It's funny because it's true.
And that's the name of your platform. I mean, this is actually technically a podcast. It's not a radio where there's, radio waves going out over an antenna and people tune in on their AM or FM dial. But it's called a radio show. That's just part of your marketing.
Blog Talk Radio is the platform that we use. So Blog Talk Radio is the platform where we record this on, and then we put it up on Building Fortunes Radio.
Yeah, it's just part of the name of the whole platform. So
get with the program, guys. Yeah, get with the program, guys.
Yeah, they like to have a good time with that because
you guys, my audience, get with the program of their audience. I mean, of their show.
All they can think of is, a
where my globetards at, yeah.
FM radio, and thinking that it has to be that in order to have that name.
Not them thinking that Wi-Fi is the same as FM radio.
But that's just the name of the company. So next one is Get the Bag. Okay, so I already said that.
I got to get the bag.
Really what Marco, and by the way, this reminds me, earlier you were mentioning, I've noticed over the past weeks that the number of people watching Marco's live streams, which are 3 times a week, so it gets old pretty quick, and the amount of money that he's getting from those shows has been going down consistently.
Dude, these guys a few months ago were saying my channel is dying. In 6 months, he's going to be homeless. And then there was a whole bunch of bags dropped during January, February, March. Subscribers went up like crazy, like 6,000 subscribers. And then they weren't talking about the bag or anything. And now it was a little bit quieter these past few weeks. Not bad by any means, though. And now it's going down, even though we have 244 people watching right now.
And so if he does not put out this Primerica Part 4 video, which he expects to bring in a lot of bag, he may not have much income coming in, Peter. I don't know all his finances, obviously, but he has recently mentioned he's still struggling with that credit card that he, moved all of his $10,000 or whatever it was tax that he paid off, but he only paid it off with a credit card. He didn't really pay it off as far as getting out of debt. But he might be sort of consistent with your prediction from, last year, whenever it was, or early this year, that he's going to have to go get a job. So we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look good.
No, he has no future impending event, meaning he used the MLM conference as the impending event to be able to raise funds. And then after that was over, there was no other impending event. So what are they going to do? Give him some money to hire a video guy? There's no emotional attachment to that. What else are they going to do? Pay for him to do whatever? I think we need an impending event. You need to, Marco, run a fund where you come down and say what you want to my face, and I'll bring my son. Just so you know, I'll bring my son. So all the drug addict things that you mentioned. I'll even bring my daughter, all the things you say about her too, or the relationship that I might have with her too. We'll bring them all down, Marco. So just come on down, Marco. I bet you can use that as a pending event. So your goons would probably love to throw some money at that, and I can't wait.
I'm down with that, Peter, but is it going to be a one-on-one fight between you and I? Let's be fair now. Otherwise, I can bring some of my Texas goons, and you wouldn't want that, I promise you. Or I guess you're in Miami. I could bring some of my Miami goons.
Can't wait. So back to you, Scott.
Well, you just
Sorry, not Miami, but somewhere in Florida.
Mentioned the last thing on the bingo card. It's goons. So we filled out the card, Marco. You don't need to play the bingo card tonight. You can actually listen to what we're saying for a change, and from there, I guess we can just move on to what we want to talk about since we got the bingo card filled up. So there was a commenter a week or so ago that said that we should start, and this is somebody that is on Marco's side, by the way, that we should call him Hookah Bear.
I thought they were done talking about me, but they just wanted to get through the bingo card so that I couldn't have the pleasure of checking off the boxes. I see.
You know, like a hookah that you smoke, you know,
hookah
whether
bear.
it's tobacco or marijuana.
Who was it
hookah.
that said that in the chat? It was one of you guys. Impending event every Saturday night. No shit.
And to call him a hookah
Yeah,
bear.
Bad Dog Sports, it would be a wrap. Even if I just brought Bad Dog Sports, it would be a wrap. You guys seen Bad Dog Sports in the Discord? He posted some pictures. You don't want it.
Well, that reminded me that another name that I think is even more appropriate is Marco Mucha Bear, because he mooches off of it.
Yes, Marco Mucha Bear. I like that one.
I got to get the bag.
I love that one.
Everybody. That's what he's always done, right? He's always mooching on his shows. Oh, send me more money. Send me more money. I'm going to be kicked out of my apartment. I'll be living on the street. Please send me more money. And by the way, going back to the
that's a clip right there. That's a drop. Send me more money.
Primerica Part 4 video. If he does put it out there,
he means WFG Part 4. Primerica would be Part 1.
He won't. He's a fag. He won't. He's a fag. He won't. He's a fag. He won't. He's a fag.
But even if he does, all the other anti-MLM Huns hate him now because he talked about Trump in a non-negative way a week or two ago, which took him down below 60,000. If you remember, that was actually his 60,000 follower celebration video, and during the video, or maybe shortly thereafter, he went down below 60,000 because he's talking about Trump, and instead of calling Trump the worst human being that's ever lived, he was just having some fun. But those people don't have fun about those things. They hate his guts, Trump that is. And so if you don't say you hate Trump's guts, they're going to just not follow you. And those are the people that unfollowed him to get him below 60,000.
That is actually true. For once, I will agree with Scott Johnson. That is actually facts.
And what's really funny about that, too, is on that very same show, he was talking about some other guy that lost some viewers. And he says, oh, don't worry,
Scott and Peter. The channel, as of right now, is at 60,056 subscribers. So don't worry. We'll be fine.
It's no big deal. You know, they'll come back. But then after he went below 60,000, he was in remorse over his own lack of 60,000, which he's above now, by the way. We don't know by how many. Maybe it's one or two. So if there's any people out there that are not, doing drugs and they're following Marco, you might want to rethink following this guy that's really stupid, because that's what he is. So, yeah, I think Marco Mucha Bear would be good. Marco the Narco Mucha Bear, that would really sum up Marco pretty well, don't you think?
I think somebody should put that on the alwaysmarco.store website. So alwaysmarco.store. I think somebody should put up that T-shirt. So maybe we can have Dave Vaughn to design a T-shirt for us, and we can put it up on alwaysmarco.store.
Do it, Dave. Dave, I give you permission.
So
hey, there you go. There you go.
Help Dave.
Maybe we can
Dave.
even have a
Moocher.
Maybe we can even have
Thank you, Mr.
maybe Dave could even come up with a bingo card for Marco. Not our language, but Marco's language, and then people can fill in the squares when Marco keeps saying the same things over and over again. Now, we put this out recently, and it didn't sink into Marco because he is always stupid. But if you take AOC, right? AOC is the politician from New York. What's her name? Something.
Alexandria. Occasionally, she has a cortex.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god. That was actually fucking funny. That was actually good. That was actually kind of funny, Peter. I'm going to give you that.
Marco!
I'm going to give you that. That was, of all of the little puns that they have made about people, always stupid Marco, always narco, Marco Mucha Bear. I'm sure that was not an original. Alexandria occasionally has a cortex. It's crazy how like deep down into like the right wing pipeline that these dudes are, but you know, to each his own, you know.
Yes, that woman. So if you rearrange the letters in Marco's name, you could spell out Mr. AOC. And they probably have about the same level of
Not them sitting there on their free time doing little anagram word games with my first name. Marco, you could swap the letters of MARCO around to spell Mr. AOC. I love it. These guys are getting better. I got to give it to them. Fair play. I got to give it to them, man.
Intelligence. They both make the same amount of sense. So just scramble the letters, Marco, and you could be Mr. AOC. Whew. Just that would be a marriage made in heaven, wouldn't it?
That would.
So here's just a few comments from last week or so of the commenters, the goons, that I wanted to
Here we go, goons. This is your spotlight.
Quick note on, because it's getting really boring talking about Marco, because he just keeps talking about the same stuff over and over again. So just to change the pace a little bit.
Yeah, we're just putting the nails in the coffin of his career. So he's already in the coffin. We're just putting the nails in the coffin of your career, Marco. So back to you, Scott.
There you go. Yep, there you go. So I don't know if you remember, but when he was playing the video of me talking about my experience in the Navy, he actually went off camera for a few seconds, grabbed a pillow and a blanket, came back and pretended to sleep, back on camera. And I actually did go to sleep about a week or so ago listening to one of his videos. I legitimately went to
I'm honored that you fell asleep listening to my voice. That's so sweet.
Sleep because it was just so boring. One of his live streams was just that bad. They're all bad, but this one was just really, I guess it was just, he just rewinds things and plays them again. And it's just so monotonous. And of course, my story would not be interesting to a cocaine dealer with the attention span of a squirrel or his drug-addicted followers. So I get it, the fact that they didn't enjoy my personal history at all. I get it. When you're that stupid and on drugs, that kind of comes naturally. So he also talked about the corporate pyramid discussion because that is something that I heard in Amway, and I'm sure they're still using it, where MLMs, Amway or any other MLM, talks about, well, we can't be a pyramid because companies in general, organizations in general, have organizations that are similarly structured as a pyramid, right? There's like one guy at the top or gal, and then there's a few more below them and a few more, below them, and it just kind of spans out like that. And that's the MLM argument for why an MLM is not a pyramid, is because practically every other organization on the planet is shaped like a pyramid. And so he thought I was on that track, and he explained himself and all of his, glorious quote unquote intelligence. And then when he actually continued playing the story, I actually told the rest of my story saying, hey, the real difference here, it's not the shape of the organization. It has nothing to do with an MLM being a pyramid or not. It has to do with retail sales. So if you have a non-MLM company, a big company, a big organization, the point is, in my mind, the lack of retail sales is never there. There's no non-MLM company that I know of that sells most of its stuff to its own people. They sell most of their stuff to people outside of the company, customers, whereas MLM, as far as I know, most of them or all of them, most of the products or services are being bought internally. And that's the point I was making. And always stupid Marco, the narco, completely missed it. He tried to look smart, but he got it wrong as usual. So I don't know if you want to make a comment on that, but
Nope.
he likes to flap his gums with no, he has no understanding of anything. So here's a comment by that same woman, Regan.
Dude, whatever Reagan did, she touched a nerve, because never has somebody been able to infiltrate their, not since always stupid narco mucha bear has somebody, one of the goons, been able to permeate Building Fortunes Radio's airwaves until Reagan. So good job, Reagan. Big up.
Was commenting on there's no problem with sponsoring, recruiting new distributors, but if and only if, and again, that's a math term, Marco, so you won't understand it. I said if and only if there's retail sales to go along with it. And she made a comment, no, there are lots of problems with selling the opportunity, 3 exclamation marks. And my comeback to Regan's comment is name one. Name a problem with selling the opportunity. I can't think of.
Okay, I'll name one. Unrealistic expectations about how much money you're going to make and how easy it's going to be.
One, if there's retail sales going on. That's how you expand your business. People say, well, you're going to be recruiting your competition. You're going to be recruiting your own customers. And that's also false, because number one, you're trying to leverage your own time and energy through others, because you're still making money if that person is successful, but you're not doing all the work personally. There's only 24 hours a day. There's only so much any one individual can do. A CEO at a big company, a non-MLM company, cannot do all the work of the people that work for that company. There just aren't enough hours in the day. And it's the same concept with MLMs. There's no.
Guess what? The CEO of a non-MLM company and the employees of a non-MLM company, you know what's interesting about them? They all get paid.
Problem with sponsoring people and getting them to multiply your time and effort. And of course, what they say is, well, you're just recruiting your own competition. No, because different people know different people. So the people that I know, and if I sponsor somebody, they know people that I've never met. And so it's not like it's going to saturate unless you're a, isolated tropical island and there's 3 people. It just is not going to saturate, especially nowadays with the internet, right? You can sponsor.
How do you figure that it's not going to saturate? I have a whole video on my channel called Why Making Money in an MLM is Impossible. If you have 5 people, let's say you start in an MLM company. So here, the downline starts with you. That's 1. You get 5 people. They get 5 people. They get 5 people. They get 5 people. And they all get 5 people. That's 5 levels. And we're assuming nobody has left and everyone has been successful in recruiting 5. Already, after only 5 levels, we have 3,125 people. It's really ironic that at a lot of the MLM pitches I've seen from different companies, they try to make themselves seem financially knowledgeable by saying one of these anecdotes. They'll say one of these things. It's like a little, rhetorical riddle. Would you rather have $1 million or a penny every day doubled for 30 days? The answer is a penny multiplied for 30 days actually ends up compounding to being more. This is something they do. It's almost like a little party trick. They do this and they'd be like, a lot of people, because they're high school kids often that they're presenting the plan to, those people go, oh, crazy. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. It's just a little, card flourish, little fancy thing that they say. It doesn't actually mean anything. But it's funny. They don't apply that same compounding math to their own compensation plan. The irony, this is what cognitive dissonance means. Holding two opposing beliefs at the same time. They can understand the power of compounding when they're trying to entice you and say, would you rather have $1 million or a penny doubled every day for 30 days? Well, they know the answer. But then when you ask about the viability of the comp plan and how after only 5 levels you have 3,000 people, now they're completely blind to it. Now they don't want to say nothing about it. So let's keep going. Let's go to 6 levels, 15,000 people. 7 levels, 78,000 people. 8 levels, 390,000 people. Okay. Again, we're assuming that nobody has left and everyone's successful in recruiting 5. 9 levels, 1.9 million. 10 levels, 9.7 million. 11 levels, 48 million. 12 levels, 244 million. Dare I go 13 levels? Or maybe this is 12. Yeah, this is 13. 1.2 billion. And then by 5 again, let's tilt it on its side, and we're at 6 billion after the 13th level. So, mind you, 13 levels, you can't go past 13 levels. Peter is the Zodiac Killer, so true. You can't go past 13 levels without exceeding the population of the entire planet. This includes babies, the elderly, the disabled, people in countries or places with no running water or electricity, and you also have to consider nobody else would be working any other job. Nobody's working at the hospital. Nobody's working at the bank. Nobody's driving the bus. Nobody's working at Starbucks. Everyone is in whatever the MLM company is when we use this model. So realistically, we only have to go a few levels before it is a complete impossibility that the company or the comp plan is viable for anyone. I took it to the extreme, exceeding the population of the earth. My city of Edmonton only has 980,000 people in it. Edmonton and surrounding area is like total 1 million people. So if I go 5 times 5, that's 2 levels, times 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't even get 9 levels. It's like 8.5 levels before I exceed the entire population of my own city. 10 levels, we're talking like a country. So, 8 levels, we've exceeded the population of my own city. So even 7 or 6 levels, I would have already recruited so many people just in my own city that it would be impossible because, again, nobody would be working anywhere else. Everyone in the city would be in my company, or half the people in the city would be in my downline. So, I don't get how they don't get it. I really don't. So, Beyond says Scott is the tool scam. I think you mean Peter. Peter is the one that runs this site. He's making $62K a year running a hosting company that hosts all these podcasts and MLM company websites. Well, I hope he is.
Recruit people from across the country, even around the world. So there's plenty of people out there. It's not like it's going to get saturated or you're recruiting your own competition. That just makes zero sense. So I don't know if you want to make a comment on that one, but I'll move on.
Exactly, Lauren, and that's only for one MLM. Great point. Yep, Albania in the 90s, the entire country collapsed. There was a civil war because of everybody losing their money to a pyramid scheme. The entire government was overthrown.
So I mentioned a couple other things I took notes on here. Oh, there's this guy called Bad Dog Sports.
Woo!
And he's one of these.
Bad Dog, you made it, baby! Wow, another goon made it to BFR. Bad Dog, come on now. You made it, bro.
Let's go.
Do you like me?
Marco!
Congrats, Bad Dog. That's big. That's big.
And I know you're from New York, Peter, but he's one of these guys that's the typical obnoxious New Yorker, know-it-all, smart aleck type guy. He's got his own channel. So if you want to go see it, it's, Bad Dog Sports, BADDOG Sports. Well, he made a comment about me a couple shows ago, and then I went on his YouTube and I said, hey, if you're so smart, why don't you come on my podcast and we can have that discussion. And all he responded to was, ha, 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 ha. And then he made this comment on one of Marco's recent videos after this other comment I'm talking about. He said, come on, Scott, let's see how big you really are. Come on Marco's channel and debate. So he, this Bad Dog Sports guy, he won't come on my show, but he wants me to go on Marco's show. It just shows you how
Bad Dog, please go on their show, bro.
Clueless he is. And here's my response to Bad Dog Sports. Marco has homework. All right. I gave Marco the Narco homework, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I don't even remember what the specifics are, so I'll update it. He probably needs to have, some additional remedial education because he's made it so obvious he needs it.
No, Bad Dog. The person in the chat with the username Scott Johnson wasn't really him, and the Peter Mingles in the chat isn't really him. But they watch the stream to see what everybody like. He rereads the chat replay, or he watches it live.
So I'll come on your show, Marco the Narco, or you can come on this show. But you have to read all of my websites. You have to read all of my. You have to watch all my YouTube videos. And you have to listen to all the radio shows for the past 7.5+ years, the weekly radio shows. Then I'll come on your show, or you can come on my show, or we can do both, right? We can have a simulcast, if you will, where we can both be recording it simultaneously. Because when I drive you into the dirt through our discussion, not physically, but through our discussion, and I embarrass you live, and you turn yours off, ours is going to keep going, Marco. So let's do that, but you have some homework first. So here's another one. Marco the Narco asked, how many times a day do I check his channel? Because it seems to him like I'm always, listening to his channel, and he's wondering about that. Well, I only look at it to listen at his stupidity at 2x speed, right? I can't stand it at regular speed because it just destroys brain cells. And I can only do 2x speed for a few minutes at a time because, you can just feel the brain cells leaking out of your head, and you have to say, hey, I got to stop this. Let me do something else and come back to it. So that's the only reason I check his channel, is because I can only take so much stupidity at one time. Peter, I don't know what your approach is on that, but that's what I have to do. I just can't listen to Marco at full speed, 1x speed.
Yeah, I used to you used to listen to him a lot more than I did originally, and then he started talking about us more. So when he started doing the MLM stuff, so I started listening more. And I got to share with you, Scott, I have to turn him off. So much. I'm like, maybe he's going to give out some information of what's going on. Maybe he's got some news about what's happening. I was curious to see what was going on with the MLM conference, but I got to shut it off because some of the the immaturity, if you will, is one thing. But I understand he's entertaining his goons, and they're a whole bunch of retards anyway. But the reality is sometimes just the stupidity coming from his mouth. I'm like, I can't listen to this.
That isn't the pot calling the kettle stupid. By the way, Scott Johnson, I know you're watching this stream. Scott, is this you? Please tell us if this is you. I would like to know. You said that you met that guy, the My Pillow guy, and we found some pictures at that Trump rally of... This is sort of an optical illusion. This picture here, it looks like that's his eyelash, but then it also could be the fold right underneath his eye, and I can't really tell like if that's the shadow of his eyelashes or if that's like his eye up here or down here. But anyways, Scott Johnson, is this you? Because we found the pictures from the Trump rally that you were at with the My Pillow guy standing very close to him, and we compared this side by side with the younger picture of you from the Navy yearbook, if you could call it that. I don't know the exact term for that, but the Navy picture that we found of you where we confirmed that was you. And this gentleman looks a lot like that. And I can sort of picture your voice going with this face. So please let us know, Scott Johnson, if that is you. Because if so, I would be very happy to be able to use that picture for, thumbnails and stuff when we talk about each other. Or, maybe it'll finally give you an excuse to finally get you past the fear of showing your face on camera if if you know that we already know what you look like. So, anyways, let's go on. Let's continue.
Like stupid. Like it's so stupid. It's stupid. It hurts. So I'll shut it off, and sometimes I go back to it.
Oh, Bad Dog, he was in your stream? Oh shit, crazy.
I listen to it, on the side. I got a couple of computers here, so I'm not like watching him. I'm kind of listening, and it's really tough for me to go through some stuff. Like, I started listening to Wednesday, and I had to shut it off. And I skipped Friday completely because I was still kind of like PST,
PST. He had PST, y'all.
I still had a little bit of trauma from the Wednesday show being so stupid the way it was. So I missed that one, but I kind of sad that I missed it because I would have loved to see his face when he was talking about a cease and desist from Primerica. But back to the original question, I really have a hard time listening to the stupidity. Now, some people might say, why are you focused on this guy? Well, we focus on this guy for a specific reason. Number one, he picked on Scott and he picked on me. So that's number one. Number two.
Literally two little boys.
Why are you focusing on him now? Well, they just came back from the MLM conference. Next is we kind of told him he was going to get his ass sued.
The MLM conference was over a month ago now.
The stuff that he's going to do on his anti-MLM radio show or podcast, whatever he's going to call it, and now that's happening. And number three, I'm kind of like, or number four or three, I'm having some enjoyment as he's getting his cease and desist.
PST, Peter and Scott trauma, yeah.
To see if he's going to play poker with releasing that Primerica video and then watching what he's going to do when he gets his ass sued. Because companies like Primerica have real financial damage that happens when idiots like him do the stupid things that he does. So we talked about all different kinds of idiots. Marco is one of those useless idiots, but I can't wait to see if he's going to do it or not. So you kind of got me thinking, Marco, I might have to check in every once in a while to see if you're going to do it, because I bet you won't. I bet you're going to fag out, Marco. I bet you're going to fag out, and you're not going to do it, and you're going to make some kind of an excuse. But if you had any balls, Marco, you'd release that video, you get your ass suit off, and you'd see what it'd be like to then have to be responsible for the shit talking that you do. And we're just letting somebody else do it for us, Marco. So back to you, Scott.
Yeah, good points. Because he's already been sued once, and I think that lawsuit is still open, like you mentioned earlier. And he tries to use the argument, well, I don't have anything. Well, guess what? If you get a monetary damage award, then that goes towards any future income. So I think, I don't know how Canada works, but he thinks he doesn't have anything to lose, and he doesn't, but they can take future earnings. So, but he's so stupid, he doesn't understand that. Now, I listen to his shows for two reasons. And like you said, Marco really was nasty towards both of us, particularly you. And so that's one reason we pick on him. But also, he kind of reflects all of the other anti-MLM Huns out there, right? All these people that talk crazy and stupid, and we just don't go after them personally. But he's really reflecting everything that they say. He's really parroting, if you will, all the other anti-MLM Huns. So while we are criticizing him specifically and personally, we're also criticizing.
Yeah, Johnny, remember when Marco wasn't going to DC and when Marco's channel was failing? So true.
Anyone that has similar ideas that Marco the Narco has. So it's really pushing back against the entire anti-MLM Hun industry out there. So now there was another comment. I'm not sure if Marco the Narco made this or one of the comments, but they were saying, why is he picking up his phone? When these people call him, why does he pick up the phone? When Marco calls him. Well, here's a clue for you. Peter runs a business where people call him all the time. Of course he's going to pick up the phone. It's so stupid to view something from only your small...
Y'all don't answer the phone.
...inconsequential perspective. Just because you don't pick up the phone doesn't mean that Peter does not pick up the phone, because he has a good reason to. He has a lot of customers. They call him all the time. And when the phone rings, he picks it up, just like any normal business. So it's just so stupid to question that you pick up the phone, Peter. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. So here's another comment.
Always stupid,
Go ahead.
Marco.
You want to add something?
No, always stupid, Marco. Always stupid.
Yeah.
Marco.
So here's another comment. that was made while we were talking about his drug dealing. This comment came in right during that conversation when we were talking about narco being a cocaine dealer. It says, quote, as someone who is almost 1,000 days sober from opiates after over 8 years on them, I find this hilarious. Then there's a big laughing face. I don't know why someone who had that problem would think that is funny. To me, if I had an 8-year opiate addiction and
you had a 10-year Amway addiction.
Marco is a self-described former and probably current cocaine dealer, I think.
Which is it? I'm a cocaine czar or I'm poor? You guys, like, how can both be true at the same time? I'm either a millionaire from selling drugs or I'm poor. Which is it?
I would not follow him. I think I would ignore the guy or try to get him in trouble. I would not laugh over it. I just don't understand that whole concept of that being funny. It makes no sense.
That was you, Eliza. Congrats, Eliza, also getting mentioned on the stream. Nice.
To me.
Anybody that's been an addict, and I'm talking about a serious addict. I'm not talking about somebody that was dependent on it, like Rush Limbaugh, who was dependent on painkillers or stuff like that eventually had to come off it. I'm talking about one of those addicts that cause a lot of damage to their family. They either lived alone or they're fucking narcissistic and oblivious because you did a lot.
Him lowering his voice because his literal addict son is in the other room cutting up his own birthday cake.
The damage to a lot of people that either cared about you or are around you. So one way or another, that's just it's no laughing matter. I mean, there's nothing funny about it. The Sackler family, Marco, you probably don't even know who they are, but the Sackler family was fined billions of dollars after decades of screwing people. And the reality is that they produced billions and billions and billions. There's your Carl Sagan. But they have billions and billions of damage as a result of their opioids. So for the Marco goon who said he finds this hilarious, it's either you're fucking retarded because the opioids fucked up your brain, or you have no one that cares about you, or you're just totally fucking oblivious. I mean, addiction is addiction, unless you're able to handle it well. There's a lot of people out there, Scott, that are, and I use your name, Scott, because I'm talking to you, but there's a lot of people out there, Scott, that are functioning addicts, and that's a real shame. I mean, that is a real shame. They can live a regular life as long as they're addicted, but it's a tough thing to go through, and there's a lot of people that are addicted for lots of different reasons. Medical reasons could be one of the first reasons why people get addicted to opioids. So, this is a stupid comment, but, when you're reading comments and you're in Marco's thing, just like when you're reading comments sometimes when you're on anybody's internet feed, there's the trolls in there, there's the stupid stuff. They say stuff because they're just trash talking, so I understand. That's why I never read their comments, because it's just a waste of time. Back to you, Scott.
Yeah, I think it was a woman that actually was that 8-year opiate addict. But, laughing about a drug dealer and who shows zero remorse or regret.
Yeah, Joey K. Marco is simultaneously a drug kingpin, poor, just a drug delivery boy, an addict, a cartel leader, and a little girl. It's truly amazing.
Marco!
It's truly amazing.
For being a cocaine dealer, for hurting people. People probably died from overdosing. They probably committed other crimes, stealing, burglary, whatever, to fund their addiction.
Yeah, addiction is addiction unless you handle it well, guys. That's what Peter can teach us.
It's not funny. It's just pathetic. And for those people to just laugh about it, it just shows you who they are. But they fit right in with always stupid Marco the Narco Lucha Bear. Yep. So he also talked about when he was, having some fun with Trump a couple of weeks ago. He was saying, look, I wasn't doing it, because I like Trump. He says it was just joking around. He says, I'm not very deep. And you're right, Marco. You're not deep about anything. You couldn't be deep if you tried. You're a surfacey guy, and that's just who you are. So I just thought that was funny how he was trying to, sort of wiggle out of. He says it was just joking around. He says I'm not very deep, and you're right, Marco. You're not deep about anything. You couldn't be deep if you tried.
Oh, good.
You're a surfacey guy, and
I'm a surfacey guy. Wow, that's a new one.
Just who you are. So I just thought that was funny how he was trying to,
Peter drops his pants to his ankles at the urinal. So true.
Sort of wiggle out of the people who decided not to follow him anymore and put him below.
Marco is the cause of all crimes ever. So true. So true.
60,000. Oh, I was just kidding around. I was just joking around. I wasn't, trying to be political. I wasn't having a deep conversation. So, and he also said he doesn't care whether it's Trump or Biden. He doesn't, because as a Canadian, he said, it doesn't affect him at all because he's in Canada and this is America, and whether it's Trump or Biden, nothing affects him. And I've got some news for you, Marco. The lack of American strength and respect will affect Canada and the rest of the free world. We can talk about the 13 dead Americans when they got out of Afghanistan.
My hero, Scott Johnson, my hero.
The thousands of dead Ukrainians because of the Russian invasion, illegal aliens flooding across the border, worldwide inflation, lack of energy production. I could go on and on. And you say it doesn't make any difference. Well, if we had more presidents like Biden and less presidents like Trump, we would probably either be speaking Chinese, or if you go back in history a little bit, like the Second World War, we'd be speaking German or Japanese. So what happens in America affects the rest of the world because we are the only superpower, and there's a lot of bad countries out there. So if you think it doesn't matter because you're in Canada, you are dead wrong. You just are always stupid and don't realize it. And you really should not make comments like that because it's just stupid to say it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden. No impact on me. It's crazy. Now, another commenter said that Trump actively harmed people, which I don't know what they were referring to because they didn't say it. They just made a comment that Trump was actively harming people. I don't know where that comment, what it pertained to. There was no specifics. But all those things I just mentioned, that's a lot of harm. And that was Biden, not Trump. So it's just stupid. Anyway, I guess that's it for the
Yeah, bam. And I took that personally. So true.
Comments. I guess we're almost out of time already this week. We probably will have to go to the third week of talking about Marco at
third week. This is like 6 weeks in a row.
The MLM conference. So I'll pick up on that unless you had something you
want. They still haven't got to what I said at the MLM conference over a month ago, bro.
To put across there, Peter.
There's a couple of things relative to MLM we should probably talk about, or home-based businesses we should talk about, because I don't want to devote the whole thing towards Marco.
Yeah, God forbid you devote the whole thing. Imagine somebody who actually didn't know about who I was or who they were, and they came to their podcast, and this was the first episode they listened to. You think they're still sticking around after an hour and 10 minutes and 31 seconds before you actually get to anything about home-based business? Hilarious.
But there's one thing that is somewhat, indicative of some of the changing times. And if you look it up, Tupperware is on the verge of maybe collapsing. So Tupperware is a direct sales company. Party Plan is their compensation plan. But, some people might make a claim or an argument that they might be an MLM company as well. And I'll just say it like this. Tupperware has been around for a long time. On the website behindmlm.com, there was a comment with a video of the history of Tupperware that was really well done and certainly worthwhile. But it's worth seeing how large of a company that Tupperware actually was. But the challenges are just like, the dinosaurs, they're going extinct. So Tupperware may actually be closing its doors, which would be, a shame for those people that are in Tupperware that may still be making an income. But Tupperware's been going through some challenges. They put their products in Target to try to save themselves. They've sold a lot of their retail property, which they probably don't disclose very often, but they're selling a lot of their property to try to keep themselves afloat. Their stock has been tanking for a long time. It's down to almost nothing. And they even, I think, started selling their products online, which is kind of competition or direct competition with their sales force. So their sales force has been disillusioned and gone down a lot. So there's been a whole bunch of managerial issues. There's been a whole bunch of financial issues, but it looks like Tupperware may be closing its doors. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. So it's kind of like, well, could you sell a product like that in today's environment and still be competitive? That'd be a stretch. What's so unique about Tupperware that might be worth being deserving of a party plan in today's day and age? And I think that's part of also some of their challenges. They haven't been able to evolve as well. So it's just a shame, and I figured we'd mention it on our radio show. So back to you, Scott.
Yeah, that they really are an icon, not only as a MLM, but as a brand, right? Almost everybody has Tupperware in their house, whether they bought it or their mother or grandmother bought it, because the stuff is indestructible, and it's just a household word. When you describe, a tissue, a lot of people say Kleenex, which is a brand. Well, when people say food storage, they say Tupperware, even if it's a different brand. And that's some of the things that have happened too, right? There wasn't that much competition for food storage containers back when they got started. And there was no internet, of course. And so a lot of people socialized at the party plans. That's how people got together.
Eliza, yes, email Scott, stop the Amway tool scam at yahoo.com.
With the internet now, it just doesn't happen that much anymore. That whole
Lauren, Peter wants to get this show back on track so badly. LOL. I like to imagine that they're fighting behind the scenes about the direction of the show. Hilarious. Oh man, going from fiercely defending Trump to Tupperware. Love it. Kip from Napoleon Dynamite grabbing his popcorn. They talk past each other all the time. Yeah, I wonder if any of them actually listens to what the other says. Peter is definitely sick of Scott.
Culture has changed. So and I'm sure they've done it online because everybody did stuff online during COVID. But yeah, it really is a shame. I think they're selling at Target and
what up, Kendra K? Thanks for being here.
Amazon now. And that actually leads me into the next comment that Marco the Narco.
I thought they were done talking about me.
Lucha Bear made at the MLM conference. He talked about selling on Amazon. And so in my mind, there's no problem with an MLM selling on Amazon. Now they are competing with their distributors, but as long as the deal on Amazon or any other online outlet is not better than what the distributors offer, then I think those products should count as retail sales. Now, if they give them a better deal, and probably some of that would be price or the delivery time, if those kinds of things are better online versus through your distributor as a customer, then that probably should not count as retail demand because, it's a better deal. So that's my opinion on selling online. I don't think there's any problem with it as long as, it's not a better deal.
And Paz, I'm waiting to hear Peter snoring one day. That's going to happen.
What the distributors can offer, then that, in my mind, should be able to count towards retail sales. I don't know that this is happening, but, that's one of the advantages of Amazon is the quick delivery time. So I don't know if any MLMs are doing this, but if the distributor, the MLM distributor, could sell to a customer and use Amazon as the delivery vehicle, that might help increase retail sales, because one of the complaints about MLMs is it takes more than a day to deliver the stuff. And in today's microwave world, if you can't match Amazon's delivery time, then forget it. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm not
exactly my point about why direct sales is not a thing.
Going to buy it because it's not just price. It's also, the convenience, the timeliness of delivery that goes into those decisions by customers. So anyway, that's my take on that. I don't know what your opinion is on retail sales online, Peter, like Amazon.
It's tough. If you're going to sell products online, and I'm not talking about through a distributor website, You have to do it maybe a different product line. So you have to have something that you're not in competition with your direct sales force. Certainly can't be a better price. So it would have to be a higher price to at least set the price standard, because everybody shops online, it seems like, or checks prices online. So those types of issues. And then they would probably need to do some kind of a bonus pool to be able to make the sales reps feel better, because you don't want to be in competition with your own company. So, and that's a really hard thing to manage. And that's why selling online is so controversial to the morale.
It's crazy that these guys claim to be pro-MLM, yet every defense that they make about why MLM is good or viable actually supports my reasoning about why MLM is bad. So they make anti-MLM arguments inadvertently, like unintentionally.
The sales force, because if you've ever been in sales before and you've ever lost a sale to someone else, either undercutting the price or doing whatever they were doing, or somebody bought something online, that's really demoralizing. So it's a tough challenge for every company that tries to sell in the MLM space, those types of issues. So, and many of them, I'm going to suggest this.
I know it's probably not going to happen at this point, but you guys, the WFG Part 4 video is done. It's my best infiltrating a pyramid scheme video, I think, since the ACN video 3 years ago, because I'm actually in person again this time. But, you know, I was planning on dropping it Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll post it on Patreon and for the members if we fill up this donor goal tonight.
Are doing it.
And if you're watching the replay of this, Streamlabs always open. Patreon always open, baby.
Backroom deals with some people, meaning like some of them are being sold on eBay and Amazon and other.
Am I really supposed to believe Peter runs a booming business where the phone is ringing all day long when on this episode, like, I know for a fact that Peter is taking an hour and a half out of his son's birthday party in order to do this show talking about me for an hour and a half?
You know, online channels, and they're undercutting their sales force.
Thank you, Bad Dog.
But the volume, so I shouldn't say but the volume, and the volume is helping the company stay afloat. So it's almost like they're cheating their sales force. By the way, I don't agree with this, but they're cheating their sales force by selling online, but it's keeping the company flush with cash.
So you agree. I made the exact same point in my conference speech that MLM companies who sell on Amazon are actively undercutting their own distributors.
Which keeps the direct sales company going. So it's like a means to an end, but it's not a good means to an end. So it's kind of messy sometimes. But Tupperware, as an example, is having a really hard time managing that messy situation. It's not going well. And they've probably already run out of money. And now they're just selling off assets to try to keep it going, waiting for maybe a bigger company to take over. Because they do their own manufacturing. I mean, it's a huge company, or was a huge company way back then, probably has a huge channel of distribution, and to close its doors completely would be a real loss to lots of other companies that can acquire them and use those resources. But for the Tupperware distributor, it's game over. They probably know about it, and they're probably struggling to figure out what they're going to do. So back to you, Scott.
Yeah, and what we see a lot as far as the MLM products online, it's not always the company that's selling them, but it's also...
No kidding, Kendra. Us whippersnappers don't know anything, Marco. So true.
Distributors, and most MLMs prohibit that, but a lot of distributors do it anyway, and a lot of it is also former distributors who have a large inventory because that's what they were encouraged to do by their upline, so their upline could make more money, and so they're just selling off the products for a fraction of what they bought them for, so that it's not a total loss, right? Maybe you spent $20 for an item originally, and if you can get $10 back, well, that makes you $10 better than you would have been if you hadn't sold all that extra inventory that you would never use yourself, especially things that are, you know, with expiration dates like makeup and any kind of food or drink. You know, if you don't sell that stuff off relatively quickly, it's not going to be worth anything. So, you know, we see a lot of that on eBay and Amazon, where it's these former distributors who are just trying to recover, you know, a little bit of what they lost in their inventory. So, yeah.
Yeah, next week when they comment on my shirt, that'll be good.
It definitely is messy. There's no doubt about that, Peter.
Yep.
So the next comment, actually, I'm on minute 6 now. Minute 6 of 19.
SG Easy says, Marco, when is the last time you hit the gym, man? You can't keep letting him get away with the body jokes. Bro, I've been in the gym literally every day almost for the past 2 weeks. For the past week, every single day. I was in there today. But you know what? You know what keeps throwing y'all off? Is I went up a size in T-shirts. I'm wearing large T-shirts now. So it looks relative to when I was wearing mediums because now I have the extra sleeve room from wearing large. But make no mistake, I was 145 2 years ago when I started this fitness journey. I'm floating just below 170 now. So
of Marco the Narco Mucha Bear's great, quote unquote, great presentation that he made in front of everyone else that who was there knew he was a cocaine dealer. So it's incredible that they welcomed him, but I guess that's the...
Thank you, Denise. Welcome to the cult. Yes. Yeah, everyone read your email saying I was a cocaine dealer, but everybody knows you and your reputation well enough to ignore it and delete it.
Class of people that we're talking about. So he also said convenience always wins. You know, if you have a more convenient way, that always wins in every single case. And I don't think that's true.
Thank you, Dylan King. Appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the call.
I think that there are relationships between people, not Marco.
And that's true, SG Easy. Marco could look like Bad Dog and they'd still find something to say. So true.
Marco the Narco has no relationships except with his fellow cocaine dealer, Philip, his buddy, who he's off camera, thankfully. One of his past videos, they were actually comparing their member size, if you will, and they were apparently similar, according to what they were saying off camera. But like I said, people think I'm making this up. Nope, I'm just saying what Marco already said. So I mean, he has no relationships. He's had at least...
Yeah, if Marco's a cocaine dealer, he's not doing a good job at it. So true.
3 past girlfriends. He had that fling with the college cheerleader who said, "Is that all there is?" And that's pretty much it. He hates his mother-in-law. He hates his father. He just barely re-met his...
Mother-in-law. I think he means stepmom, but...
birth mother recently. I don't think that went...
I love when they say, yeah, he was chilling with this college cheerleader, and she said, "Is that all there is?" Because it was just about sex for Marco. It's like, bro, you realize... When they make a comment that's supposedly pro-MLM, they don't even realize it's anti-MLM. When they make a comment that's supposed to be like shaming me, they're actually bigging me up. So appreciate y'all.
Let's go. Very far. He has no other friends. I mean, the guy has no other friends. He's a loner. He's, by himself all the time. He doesn't even go into a grocery store. He orders the food by his phone, I guess, or online somehow, and then he goes to the grocery store and parks in a certain spot, and they put the groceries in his car and he leaves. Maybe an occasional visit to a Starbucks or something, or a drive-through. Other than that, he's by himself, or visiting with his cousins who described him.
And Paz, man. So anyways, Marco's penis looks the same as Philip's. So anyway, Marco hates his stepmother. He can't make this shit up.
Him, in their words, according to Marco again, as some random guy.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
So now, no doubt that he has the view that convenience always wins.
Yeah, online somehow that the grocery store. This guy just heard of Skip the Dishes. This guy just heard of Uber.
Now, Blockbuster, there's a rumor out there that they're supposed to be starting up again. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't think they've announced the structure of coming back.
He can't be dead ass right now.
Hard to think they're going to come back, exactly like they were, but maybe they are. Maybe they've done some market research and found that people really do like going to stores and looking through the going up and down the aisles, looking at all the the movies and so forth that are there, and maybe bumping into a neighbor or a friend or something like that. Kind of a social type thing. I don't know. It's unknown what Blockbuster is going to do. But that is an example of...
In 2023, bro.
convenience. There's no doubt that the primary reason probably they went out of business originally, I think there's still one store in Bend, Oregon. There's only one store left. But like I say, maybe they'll come back in some.
Finish your thought. The reason that they went out of business is because of convenience. So what Marco said was true, isn't it?
Similar form. We don't know. Okay, now we're blistering on. Did you have something to add to that?
Nope, you're good.
Yeah. So, the relationships and educating the customer. I know when I was in Amway, they made a big deal about this. I don't think it's as big of a deal as I was being told, but I do think, one of the advantages of an MLM as a distributor, if you do have some products that are unique, you can educate the customers and show them maybe that your product is unique. As long as you're being honest, I don't have a problem with that. But I think there is a educating element that's an advantage in a in-person sales.
5 minutes left, y'all. We can do this.
Right? It could be a department store.
Thumbs up the
stream.
stream.
There is an advantage. Some people like to, see a fabric and maybe touch it and try it on because different manufacturers have different sizes. Even though it's the same size on the label, it fits differently. And some people like to actually see the colors and the texture of the fabric, and it's not all 100% convenience, like Marco the Narco Mucha Bear talks about. So he also said that no company knows their sales. No MLM company knows what their retail sales levels are. Well, if Marco the Narco had listened to me on previous shows, he would know that Amway's sales, at least back in around the 2006 timeframe, and I doubt it's changed very much, was 3.4%. And even that number is inflated because people like me were taught to fake the computer, basically manipulate it to show some of my personal sales as retail sales. People were taught that. So I'm kind of shocked that it's as low as 3.4%. I guess most people just didn't listen. but Amway knows because they go out and do their own, research, and they hire third parties to do the research. So it's, it's another party that doesn't have any bias. Now, Herbalife and Vima are required by their settlements to measure sales. So there's another couple companies that, of course, the whole thing is we have to assume that they're going to be cheating because that's what MLMs do. So you have to be very careful when someone has a claim to make sure that there's auditable, trackable information that you can confirm whether this thing was made up or if it was legitimate. So I just got to put that in there because the industry is rife with not telling the truth. But I do think that there are companies that do know what their sales are. And so Marco the Narco Mucha Bear just doesn't know what he's talking about. That's just another example. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, he also talked about the 99% failure rate. And a lot of that.
Also, I have to wake up from my slumber real quick to refute that point because he's saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, but in his own anecdotal experience, he even just said that Amway's inflated sales number was 3%, and that only other two companies that he named, Vima and Herbalife, which Vima was shut down for being a pyramid scheme. Herbalife had to pay a settlement and restructure their business. Those are two companies who only know their sales now after rules were put on them for, in the case of Vima, to only sell retail. There's no MLM aspect to it anymore. And for Herbalife to actually track it and be able to report it. So again, supporting my point, name me one MLM company that wasn't already reprimanded by the FTC and forced to either shut down or restructure their business that does know their own sales, Scott. You can't name one.
Failure rate, I would say 2/3 to 3/4 of that 99% are either lazy or they get scared, right? Either they don't, and this is based on my personal experience, after being in Amway for a dozen years and all the research I've done talking to other, former Amway distributors. The fact is, 99% of them, 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 99% that around 2/3 to 3/4 of them are just lazy. They sign up and they do nothing, or they do just a little bit, but essentially nothing. And a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, they get scared. They get rejected and they go, "Ooh, I don't like that feeling. I'm going to quit." And so that's a lot of that 99%. Now, if you want to call that a failure, I guess you can. But I think it's kind of misleading to think that every single person that signs up to an MLM, just like every single person that signed up to go to college, either they have to graduate or college is a scam. And that's just not the way the world works. We know that most people don't finish college. A lot of people don't even start college. So, to say that because 100% of the people don't graduate from college, college must be a scam.
So then did you fail, Scott? Because you love to talk about the Amway tool scam. That's what your whole vendetta is about. So were you scamming by being in Amway for 10 years? Were you scammed or did you fail? Which is it? Same question to Dominic Izzo. Dominic Izzo skirting around my question. Are you a millionaire in my debate with him?
That's just ridiculous. So I guess we're, again, towards the end of our time here.
We're done.
We're going to have a part 3. Hopefully I can spend less time on the stupid comments from the goons next week, Peter, because that did chew up a lot of our time.
There we go, goons. You have hope if they didn't read your comment today.
But I thought it was interesting to kind of see some different stupidity, because Marco gets really repetitive, and we can see what some of his goons are thinking or really not thinking. So I guess I'll just cut it off there and let you make any last comments, and we'll just pick it up next week.
Well, give people your website so they can go to that and take a look at all the things you've done.
Yes, again, go to my Facebook page. If you don't have Facebook, just sign up. It's free.
Wow.
It's no big deal. I know I'm an old guy.
Go to my Facebook page. By the way, Blockbuster's making a comeback. Scott Johnson in 2023. Real shit.
So, the youngsters don't go on Facebook because it's, the old folks' website, but it's free, guys. You can do it. You can do it.
So is every other social media platform that's not for the old folks, Scott.
So it's facebook.com/Scott Tex Johnson. It's ScottTexJohnson. That's all one word.
Hit them up.
3 websites, the link to this radio show, my YouTube, my email, which for Regan is stoptheamwaytoolscam@yahoo.com. There you go. Now you can email me to be on the show and show your intelligence when it comes to my personal Navy experience. And I'll just stop it right there, Peter, and I'll let you make any last comments, and we'll see you next week.
Perfect. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks, everyone.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingle. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for.
Well, that was fucking exhausting. I want to show you guys one last thing before I sign off, okay? And I'm only going to show you like 10 seconds of something here. Not even 10 seconds, okay? Just real quick.
WFG Pyramid Scheme! Greg, how come you reported my WFG Part 3 video for defamation and got it taken down?
Say WFG's a pyramid scheme. It's ready. It's ready, you guys. It's ready. So, if y'all want it, you might have to wait till Wednesday. If you're on Patreon, if you're a member on YouTube, You'll get the video early. It's done. I've uploaded 2 copies. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. So, yeah, Jared and Meredith were there in real life to witness the scene with Dr. Patchup. Yep. Yeah, the head turn from Dr. Patchup. You can't make this shit. Can't make this shit up. You know, that's a gift for sure. Yeah, Joseph, you want that sound effect? I haven't used that one in a while.
Marco.
Hold on. Where's the Boosie? Hold on, let me find it. Boosie, where is it? I got it here. I got it somewhere. I know I do. Is it the... No. No way. Do I not have it anymore, bro?
She belongs to the streets.
No, it's not that one. Oh, here.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000.
There you go. The Boosie sound effect. Yes, thank you, Joseph. Not Marco paywalling the content even more. There you go. Yeah. So, you know, you want to watch that little clip again? I mean, you could rewind it, but I'll play it again for you. I'll play you that little clip again. I got to add Peter to the thumbnail of this stream tonight again. But I'll show you a little tiny clip of it. Just a little. Maybe I'll even give you a scene. No, I'll just play you that little intro again. Just. All right, here's that little intro that you just watched.
WFG Pyramid Scheme!
Here it is. Okay, ready, guys? All right.
WFG Pyramid Scheme! Greg, how come you reported my WFG Part 3 video for defamation and got it taken down?
Say WFG's a pyramid scheme. There you go. You got it. You got a little bit. You got a little taste. Got a little taste, guys. Dr. Patchup's reaction. So good. So good. All right, well, you guys will have to wait for it, but it is coming. It's done. It's ready to go. So, and then I just got to go here and add Peter to tonight's thumbnail so that people watching know that this is a BFR stream, a BFR recap stream. I always try to go add him to the thumbnails where I talk about them so people know which, just like a little Easter egg. Hold on. Canva's sick, bro. My thumbnails were ass before Canva. Let me download that. All right. Good job, y'all. Good job. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys being here. We did, 3 hours? 3 hours. I can't wait for you guys to see this WFG video. I think it's some of my best work ever. Yeah. I'll see you guys. You'll see it when it drops on Patreon. And really appreciate you guys being here. Again, I have some family coming into town on Wednesday. So I may not be streaming Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. I know, that's a lot. I'm going to try to make it work. But worst case scenario, I do shorter streams or I do the streams at like a weird time where worst case scenario, you'll watch the replay. So, you know, we'll make it work. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Thank you. Realistically, you'll probably see the new WFG video before I even stream again. But we'll see. All right. Appreciate it. Peace.
Marco.
Do you like me?
I got to get the bag.
Peace out. Thank you, guys. Miss y'all, too. Oh, appreciate it. Miss you already. Enjoy the break. Thank you, guys. Yeah, hope you're hosting with them next week, Eliza. Or Bad Dog. Get on their show. All right. Peace out, y'all. Peace.